basically like at the end of high
Honestly,
school.
dude, it sucked. Yeah, like when I used to go to the hairdressers when I was a kid. This is like true story. They used to be like, his hair's so thick.
I
Like,
know. I used to have that
crazy
too.
Thick.
Yes.
They used to come over. Like they would call other people from the salon over. And
Yeah.
They'd be like, Becky, feel his hair, and they would be like, oh my god, it's like so thick.
Oh, it's so yeah. I got that when I was a kid too.
And
then
then a
like
year later, they're like,
high school. No, I don't know. I started doing drugs, and then well, and then like I remember being in bio class. I remember when you self-realize it, when you're like, holy fuck, like I'm losing my hair. You know, when you're just like sitting in class and you're just like you're rubbing your face and you're just like just trying to be alive. And I looked down and my book was covered in hair, bro.
oh yeah, that's
Like covered in hair, and I was like, fuck, no way. And then it just started going.
Just-
That sucks.
I was like 17, 18. Like it was super early, my grade 11, grade 12 year. So then I just started shaving it. Fuck it.
yeah.
And then everyone's like, you have a great head for having a shaved head. I'm like, that's not a compliment.
It's
No,
not a great compliment.
having like you
it
have such
suits you.
thick hair
Mhm.
is such much better.
A million times better of a
Yeah,
compliment.
oh, for sure. And like,
like,
I would
I mean-
way, and then people are like, well, you can grow facial hair. And I'm like, yeah, but I would way rather have a good set of hair.
Good head of hair.
Yeah, good head
absolutely,
of hair.
absolutely,
And
yeah.
be able to change it up, style it up, get a fade, grow it out. I think that's way more versatile than
for
growing
sure.
a fucking beard.
I always really wanted to grow my hair long, but my hair doesn't grow down; it grows out.
It's kind of like
Do you have
curly.
like a bit of a fro style? Like, is that
Yeah,
what
well, because it was so thick and curly, now it's like gone.
Well,
My
let's
wife
go
likes
wig.
to make fun of me for.
What did she say?
Oh,
She makes fun of my balding head all the time.
What did she
Oh.
say?
No,
Yeah,
it's,
Krista.
it like
It'll
hurts.
be when you're watching TV, or will she just bring it out of nowhere?
Oh, just out of nowhere.
She's like,
it
hey
hurts.
babe, like I guess it's a
She'd be like, one,
reflection.
she's like, well, one day you're gonna have to shave your head. Like one day you're just gonna be like Adam, bald with a beard. That'll look
It's
good,
nice.
right?
It's a nice compliment, right? I mean, it does. You rock it.
Sure.
I'm not
He
gonna-
rocks it. I'm not gonna rock
100%.
it.
Why
You know,
would
you're
not,
gonna hold
though?
on for dear life.
I'm holding on for dear life.
Have you ever
Mm.
shaved your head?
Yeah, I was just
Oh, yeah.
about to ask you that.
I definitely have.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't. Have you ever seen him with a shaved head?
No, I was just
Have
about
Not
to
you?
that I can recall. No,
No.
not that I can recall.
I did it once in high school, and like they were like,
Not even
"Wow,
like a picture.
Why did
you're
you do
a
that?
fucking skinhead," and I was like,
I used to get that all
Yikes.
the time because
Really?
I worked bars.
Oh, right.
So as a door guy, I would always be like, if they're too drunk to come into the bar, I'd be like, no, you can't come in, and they'd be like, okay, skinhead, what is this, a
Oh.
Nazi bar?
Oh.
I'm like, yeah, it's a Nazi bar. Like, come on, Z Kyle, like, fuck you.
Why would you
Piece of shit.
immediately jump to
"Wow,
Yeah, like, but that's like so drastic. Like,
Yeah, that's-
just because I have a shaved head, I'm
that?
automatically.
You don't have
a
time to give them your
Nazi?
whole life stories. Like, buddy, I started balding when I was 17. And I
Right.
just start break down crying in front of them. And they're just like,
I
I'm
have-
so sorry.
I have alopecia."
So uncomfortable. I have cancer. No, that's mean.
Oh boy.
Well,
Well, that got done.
I'm
So,
just
well, let's introduce this thing.
yeah.
'Cause we've
let's-
been we're rolling. So
Okay.
this is Lincoln A Bomb or Lincoln J and A Bomb. I don't know what the fuck. We don't know what the show's called.
We don't know what it's called yet. How about
It doesn't
that?
matter. But we're
Figure
just
it out as
gonna
we go.
it's the three people you know and love from the channel. We're just gonna all get together once a week, twice a month, whatever it winds up being, and just kind of shoot the shit and see how.
Yeah, no expectations. 'Cause
Yeah,
there's,
no
like,
expectation.
No pressure.
No.
You know? Like, just kind of get together when we can and. Talk.
Yeah, because whatever, like we're gonna have to start scheduling 20 minutes earlier so that you're here on time.
Yeah, well, we know who the diva is gonna be.
Oh,
for
already.
It's gonna be me 100%.
100.
That's
Well, you
fine.
already divaing it up.
Absolutely showing up late.
11:04.
Don't understand
When are
English.
we doing
Oh,
this?
at 11,
just woke
at
up,
11
guys.
a.m. Fuck, are we still doing it at noon? Yes, Jared. Oh,
Oh, I thought
just-
that was next
I
weekend.
just woke up, bro. Oh, okay.
Oh yeah. Okay, I still
Oh.
have time to get there, but I'm gonna be
But at the
late.
same
Oh,
time,
will-
like it's Sunday. Like,
I
there's no
will
rush.
be
dude.
there.
There's
And-
no rush, yeah.
And
Thank
thanks
Nothing's
to
worse than hurrying. Too.
no, for sure,
that
and that's
sucks. That's, the
that's why
worst
we were like,
feeling.
fuck it, don't worry about hurrying.
I didn't worry about
It's
it.
And then we just
fine.
sat here and trash talked to you the
Just
whole
gonna-
time. I'm just kidding.
And
Oh,
thanks to COVID-19, there's nobody on the roads really. It's like
Oh, it
traffic's
was-
actually
oh my
drastically
God.
less.
It's
was
kind of
great.
really nice.
It is
Honestly, it is.
well, and
Other
yeah,
than no pasta and no toilet paper,
Yeah.
the roads are pretty nice.
yeah.
No pass.
Well, and actually,
Have you been to the grocery store?
Have you seen the photos of the grocery
Dude,
store?
I've been buying like Little Caesars for the past like 4 days. I haven't been to a
There
grocery
you
store.
go.
Yeah, and it looks,
That's
it
what we
shows.
need.
Does it?
Divorce is really hitting
It's
you
been
hard.
really bad on me.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
we're bringing that out. Episode 1.
That was so cool. COVID to divorce.
Yeah, that was
real,
fast.
It's real
That
talk.
was
I mean, we'll touch on that in a
quick.
bit, I guess. But we wanted...
Yeah, Jared's having a little bit of a rough go.
2020's been pretty shit.
2020,
Like not like for everybody, and then it just like hit me even harder
Totally,
too.
dude.
So
like why? Like so many people like were leaving 2019, going like fucking worst year can't like 2020's my year.
Dude,
Yeah.
remember like how
this.
much hate on 2019
And
there
it
was?
didn't
Yeah.
like for me like didn't really make sense. Like I actually had a decent 2019, right? Like not the half bad, so I
I got
couldn't
mine pretty
really.
good too. Yeah.
Yeah, like I was like, all right, I'm coming out unscathed. I have my health. And,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I
Yeah.
could see where everyone was like getting it from. Like a lot of bad things happened that year.
What was the big 2019 thing? I can't even honestly. It so much has happened in 2020 that I'm like I don't even remember what made
God.
2019 so
I can't
shit.
even think back that far.
Exactly.
I don't remember either.
I think maybe because we felt unscathed by it, maybe a little more. But like, I guess there was some deaths, some celebrity deaths that were pretty.
Yeah, but nowhere near what
not
2016
Kobe.
was.
I'm not Kobe, but like there was
Oh.
some like I don't know. There's always some stuff that happens.
Okay,
I
no,
can't really remember. Like here, you're just gonna pull it up.
yeah.
Notable
2019 Wikipedia.
events. Notable events.
Notable, yeah, just notable. January. Oh God, it goes all the way. Like,
Just wait. That's gonna be just 2020 now.
yeah. Ba 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 ba
This
ba.
much per month.
Oh,
Yeah, this
God.
is broken down per month. Jesus, this is a bad idea.
Top 10.
I don't know. Like,
Top 10 worst things 2019.
Well, I
Yeah,
think that
like-
just goes to show how bad 2020 has been. Like we can't even think about it. Like in because we had in January there was like
Almost World War III.
World War III. Like TikTok was blowing up with World War III memes.
yeah.
They
I-
moved the hand like closer to midnight,
Oh,
whatever the fuck
minutes
that
to
is.
The doomsday
midnight or
clock?
whatever.
Yeah, the doomsday clock.
Yeah,
The
okay.
Watchmen. I don't know what the fuck.
So one of the big things was the North Korea U.S. nuclear talks
Right.
stalled.
Oh, yep.
right.
Yep.
Yeah, he went to North Korea, like Trump went to North
Yeah, I
Korea,
remember
which was
that.
like historical. So that was that. But that's not a bad thing.
No, that was
really.
just a thing that happened.
Brexit,
Oh yeah, right.
the U.S.-China trade war continues. Like
Wait, when was that? The shooting in Paris, was that 2019? When was it?
the shooting in Notre Dame burned down.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's right.
yeah,
Notre
that's
Dame,
right.
Amazon burned down.
Yep.
Like so much of the
Oh, yeah,
Amazon burned.
Right.
The one the stone. It was the Queens of the Stone Age concert shooting. Was
Oh
that in
no,
2019?
that was like 20. No,
Oh jeez,
that was
that's just
dude. That was like
I can't even
2018 or
remember.
2017.
There were mass shootings though.
Yeah.
There's always mass shootings down everywhere. In
Yeah.
the world.
I don't know. They're like I can't see anything that really stands out as like
by comparison.
But I
no.
do
Hyper
remember
notable.
like everybody was just like so happy about being over 2019.
Fuck 2019. Yeah.
And then 2020, like
Australia
We're-
caught on fire.
We're literally it's March 15th. We're barely 3 months in.
totally.
Yeah,
And it's already just like
and we're talking about like shutting down the city. You know, like schools. Like Calgary hasn't announced anything for shutting schools.
I don't think they have
yet.
no, but Ontario has.
Yep.
I think Winnipeg has.
Well,
I feel like this is going
or
to be kind
Manitoba,
of like
sorry.
a positive long-term effect of this maybe will be the fact that like people are going to be more willing to stay at home to do work and stuff. Do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I feel like office life, that kind of Monday to Friday, 9 to 5, it has been that way for so long. And I don't feel like the world really operates on that level anymore where
Mhm.
people are off, like people are online. You can do business at 24 hours a day now, depending on your business.
Yeah.
I just feel like maybe this will be a positive in allowing people to maybe like work from home a little bit more and not have to tromps into the office and fucking,
like I'm fortunate enough to have a job that I can do that. But
that
I
you can work from home.
Yeah, but I have quite a few friends that it's like, no, I'm work, I work at, I'm a personal trainer. My job is to be
right.
around people and
Depending on your job,
Exactly.
of course.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that are getting really affected by
Oh,
this.
man.
Like so
Yeah.
many like
servers, like anybody who works like, even-
hairdressers.
yeah, anything.
You know,
Basically anything where you have to,
interact with people.
interact with
Tattoo
people.
artists.
yeah.
Oh,
like
100%.
like a lot of our
Any
tax.
small business, restaurants, Chinese, Chinatown.
I know
Go
Chinatown's.
to Chinatown.
Yeah,
people.
Chinatown's getting really.
What is wrong
hit really
with
hard
you?
right now? And it's
They don't have COVID.
No,
like
they
I mean,
don't.
just because you're Chinese or Asian in any way doesn't mean that you have any kind of disease.
no, and that's
Go
and
support those people. Eat the dumplings. Get fried chicken.
It's just that
I
like
mean,
Do you forget
ginger
how
beef.
delicious that stuff is?
it's
Right?
so
Get back
good.
on there.
Just support those people, man. They've
course.
been there for you in your drunkest times, in your hours, rolling in, ordering beer, spilling shit, barfing in
Yeah.
their restaurants.
Taking
like,
advantage of all you can eat.
Right?
Just, like,
Ooh.
staying there for like 4 or 5 hours.
I've definitely done that.
It's just
quite
crazy.
a
It's
few
cool what
times.
Italy did though, because that whole country's on lockdown. They announced that they're suspending all mortgages and rents.
Yes,
so
I saw
nobody
that.
has to like. That's cool that the
For, like,
government's
6
doing
months.
That. Yeah, for as long
Is it
as
for
it really
6 months?
Well, it's as long as
Oh,
it
yeah, dude.
takes.
They're paying everyone's like mortgages and like a lot of their bills for like 6 months.
Which is nice because I mean this can cripple a country, an economy,
Yeah.
and everything.
Yeah.
You know, like, and it already has. I mean,
Alberta announced, what is it, today or whenever they announced that you can take a 14-day sick leave and you're protected. Like,
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
they were
I
going to
saw
change
that.
the EI rules so
Yeah.
that you could technically claim it under an EI
Yeah.
if you have to go under quarantine.
But do
from
you have
traveling.
to do you have to prove that you have it to get a
no, but well, here's the thing.
I
It's
think
like
just
they want
quarantining, right?
they basically want the world to shut down. They basically want everyone to quarantine because if you stay at home for 14 days, not everybody can do this. I totally get that.
Oh, yeah.
But if you're at home for 14 days and you don't get sick and you're not spreading it, that's the whole point, is to kill it, right?
Right.
Yeah, and also part of it is to not overwhelm the hospitals as well, right?
Well, and that's the other thing too, is like there's multiple levels to that, where if the hospitals get overwhelmed with all these COVID patients, okay, then car accident there's less room for somebody who's in a car accident or somebody who
true.
like tripped and fell down the stairs, like all this shit, right?
Yeah.
I saw an interesting thing. I didn't read the full article, but I saw an interesting thing from I think it was South Korea, where they had 30 confirmed cases, right? And they contained it, and everybody like did what they were supposed to do, quarantined themselves for the 14 days or whatever it was. But the 31st person didn't listen to them, and then caused like 80%. That one person caused 80% of South Korea's COVID problem.
Oh, man.
One person. So that's why it's so important that we're all not sitting in a room together podcasting.
Right.
No, but like really
Washing our
you're-
hands.
washing, and it's
Did you wash your hands before you came in here? Did you?
yeah.
You saw me do it.
I saw him
did.
wash his hands.
If you get sick, you know.
Oh yeah, we know who it is. No, but the thing is that it's like the mass panic, and when they declared it a worldwide pandemic, that's when everybody started to panic.
Yeah.
Yep.
Totally.
It's just because they called it a pandemic didn't mean that all of a sudden it was like more contagious or more deadly or anything. It literally just meant that it was like, okay, it's literally in every country.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
world
We need to
problem.
fucking contain this.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I
And
think,
so
yeah. We've seen too many zombie movies. No, it's true though. Like
No,
it's kind of like
There's
it's
enough
like a
books and
buzzword,
movies
right?
about
Where
this
it's
for
like
sure.
pandemic. It is a very scary sounding word.
It
given,
is.
given our own. Like the only time we see it is when zombies are fucking involved.
Yeah, for
you know.
sure.
And so to hear it in like on the news, and like you have like what's our health lady's name, Debbie, or doesn't
I don't
matter.
The chick with
Fattest
the,
chick in the world. Isn't she?
No,
fat?
no.
Oh no, that was the other girl. That was the other chick.
Jesus.
And she was the health minister. And I'm like, are you a health
Are you really,
minister?
though?
I don't know. Are you a health minister? Probably not. It'd be like if I stood up there and was like, listen, people, we need to
You
ru-
need
we
to
need
start hitting the gym.
Make sure
you need to run more.
You need to
All right.
eat less carbs.
Be healthy. Don't eat Little Caesars
It's
for
true,
every
though.
meal.
She was a big girl. Anyways, I always find those things to
Jesus.
be oxymoronic. Come on,
No,
it's funny.
It is.
it'd be like yeah, us going and working at like Good Life. or
But like,
something.
who am I to tell anybody anything?
All right, you're gonna run.
Here's
run
Here's how you gonna get a body like me,
You're gonna-
boys.
You're gonna run on the treadmill for 20
Imagine
minutes. I'm
we-
gonna stand here and eat a
That would be
burger.
great if we went
I
undercover
would-
as
I-
personal trainers.
Undercover fat guy.
No, but as personal
Hey,
trainers.
how you doing? I'm running your Tai Bo class today.
Us doing
I don't know if
spin,
I don't know if
us
Tai Bo
doing
is a.
spin.
I think. Okay, here's the thing. I think that. I think that is very telling. The last time you were in a gym. If Thai Bo is your only reference for fitness.
Yes.
Okay, fair enough. With Billy
That's like
Blanks or whatever.
1998.
Oh yeah, what the fuck? That's like 1998.
That's not even 2000.
No.
Was that really that old?
That's
It's
old.
pretty old. I mean, it's not as old as what was that? Like that was the black guy and the white chick, and they were like roller skating all the time.
Oh,
Remember?
Body Break.
Body break. Yeah, yeah.
Mel
It's not as
Johnson
old
and
as that.
Joanne McLeod.
Wow.
Yep. How
Dude,
Were
your
they a
references
couple?
are out of
Were they
control,
a
man.
couple?
Everybody knows it.
We don't know.
I thought they were a
I
couple.
always thought they were.
Maybe they're a couple.
Couple?
Maybe they're a couple. I don't know.
I feel like it's important that we know this because I went my entire life thinking that those two were a couple.
I mean, if you're Canadian, you grew up with Hal
Body
Johnson.
break.
were
and
they the
Joanne
ones?
McLeod.
I seem to recall a animated bunny or something along there. What was that all about? Was there a cartoon involved with those?
A cartoon.
I never remember.
Are you thinking of like Sharon Lois and Bram?
No, that's the puppet. Like,
You're thinking Lamb Chop.
Lamb
Lamb Chop
Chops.
is not Sharon Lois and
No.
Bram.
oh, is that not?
He's
No.
thinking about
Oh.
food.
I don't even know what I'm thinking about
lamb
now.
chops.
No, he's all Jared
They're
is
a
thinking was like,
couple.
little Caesars later, gonna get a
I'm probably
deep
gonna.
dish pepperoni.
They are a couple and they have a daughter.
Oh,
Wow, so you know what?
congratulations!
I don't feel misled.
Yay, Hercules.
Thank you. Is your daughter on Instagram?
You're a dirtbag. She's young.
Half
Newly
black, half
single
white.
Jared is fun.
Newly single Jared, yes.
I love it. Does she have an Instagram?
Instagram?
Does she live in Calgary?
They are Canadian. Anything is possible.
I'm gonna
true.
find that's so creepy. I'm gonna find you. That's what you sound like. Does
I'm
she
a
have
bo-
an Instagram?
I'm a body
I'm a-
break you.
I'm
I'm a body.
You're
That
horrible.
was really good. That was really fucking good.
That was horrible.
I'm a body break.
So you're hot on the Tinder or what?
Yeah, let's do a Tinder check-in.
Tinder check-in. Currently, no.
You're not?
Yeah,
Oh.
I was on it for a bit. It's very overwhelming.
Yep.
In what way? What do you mean?
Just I find like every girl ends up kind of like blending into one. Everyone's talking about like, oh, I just want like I'm looking for somebody who's into hiking
Oh
who can
my
make me
God.
laugh. It's like, no, this is not what you're looking for. It's like hiking is not a personality trait.
So much hiking. I get discouraged by that too.
Right?
Do they post
if they
like
put
hiking
that-
photos?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
It's
okay.
almost all of them. It's their first or second photo is like hiking.
It's true.
It's like they
Moraine
just took
Lake behind me.
Yeah, they took a trip
Oh
out to
my
Banff or
God.
Canmore, like exclusively for that. Which, you know, when I re-download, which I eventually will.
Do you like
know,
really want a girl to hike with you? Like, I
Not
don't
really.
know.
It's just going to the gym with extra steps. Just go to the gym. Like I understand wanting to be outside, but like it's the
Sure.
fact that they all are trying to, at least from my perspective, seem unique. But it's like,
But they're all the same.
yeah, they all start to blend together. And the ones you do match with, like, you know, you'll end up actually having a conversation with like one or two of them. Like I had one girl that I talked to. She ended up getting like my phone number within like the first night because it was like, well, this is stupid. Like, just if you want to talk, like,
Just
I'll
keep
respond
texting.
better here. Yeah. And it went from like, hey, this is what I do. Oh, like I really like your tattoos, and we're like showing each other our tattoos like over text. And like, okay, like whatever. I don't know.
But that's kind of what you do in person, though,
Yeah.
too. Like if you meet somebody that's cool, you're like, oh look, I have this.
Yeah,
or
I have this.
Yeah,
that.
here, let me
Then
take
you're
my shirt
half
off.
naked,
Yeah, and
then,
that's
like,
pretty
oh, let me
much-
show you this and all
that's
that.
pretty much how it went down. And
Right.
then and it was like, hey, okay, well, like, hey, it's getting pretty late. Like I'll talk to you tomorrow. Like, and then like the next day, you know, I'm not trying to seem like too eager, but I'm like,
No.
I waited till like probably like 11 or something. I'm like,
Just sitting
or
there.
set a timer
your-
on my phone.
Hey Siri, set a timer to go off at 11 a.m. All my devices went off.
Okay, setting timer.
Shut up.
At least she listens.
Okay.
Okay.
I won't
I
set
can
it.
do that. No,
Okay,
but
So
I
you
messaged-
waited till 11 a.m.
around that time. I was like,
Was it like 11 on the dot or
no,
like?
it was like 11,
was it like-
13 or
Oh,
something.
okay.
Just some
Okay.
casual.
He wants to seem real casual, like 11.
Well, okay, I think
Siri,
like,
set
just
an
wrote-
alarm for 11:13.
That was his thought, though. I don't want to seem like on. The
I don't
button,
want to seem
on
too
the nose.
eager.
Exactly.
Hiker chick 108
Hiker
will have me.
Hiker
Well,
chick
have
108
me.
may as well have been that. No, I mean, like, it's not that I was overly like. I
No,
was
no,
like,
I
okay,
hear
cool.
you.
Like,
Yeah,
we had
yeah.
a decent conversation. So, like, I messaged her the next day. I'm like, okay, so hey, like, what do you do for work? Because we didn't talk about it the night before. Then, like, nothing. I don't hear from her again. I'm like, well, what was the fucking point of anything we just
Right.
anything we just did?
Oh,
It's
she
like,
ghosted you,
oh yeah,
like fully.
fully, yeah.
Weird.
And it's happened a couple times. It's like everything's fine. And then I think it's like you just ask one, I guess, too personal of a question. It's like you've basically seen me naked at this point. Like what? Like why is it too personal? Ask what you do for work.
Right.
Maybe it was a dude.
Or if
And
you're
he
not
maybe it's
interested,
just
And he
somebody-
got exactly what he
but
wanted
if you're
from
not
you.
interested by something I said or something I did,
Just say
or
it.
something I sent you as a picture, just say it. Say it. Be honest.
Yeah, and
You know, because we haven't met. you
yeah,
know, like you and this girl. So why not just be straight up and be like, you know, I don't know, you seem kind of racist, so or whatever it is, you know.
wow, I'm picking up some.
No, but
racist
you know what I
vibes.
mean.
I
Like,
Yeah.
really, I can't date you. You're way too racist. Like what the fuck did all I said was I like Little Caesars. Yeah,
like,
sorry,
too much.
I do
Jared,
like Little Caesars.
Jared,
I'm gonna
Little-
drop it every episode until they.
Little
fucking sponsor
Caesars
it.
is for
That'd be
white
great.
people.
Is it?
That's
Don't
what
tell-
she's thinking.
Oh, I see. Because they don't say anything when I go in. They're happy to serve me. They are more than happy to offer me.
Yeah, because they make
breadsticks.
terrible pizza.
When
And
I
they're
go
like,
in there, they're
finally
happy.
somebody wants to buy our pizza.
They're happy to serve me because I look like a Nazi, so I get real good service when I'm there.
Oh my god,
They're like,
guys,
when I
he's
come
coming.
in,
He's
like,
coming in.
whoa,
You're-
whoa,
You're
easy,
you're
easy.
waving it. You're like waving,
I'm like,
and they
"Hey,
take
guys,"
it
and
the
they're
wrong
like,
way, and they're
He's
like,
doing it again.
Jesus.
He's doing
"Oh
it
my
again.
god, give him
That's
just
hilarious.
take whatever you want." And you're like, "Cool,
Is
free
he gonna
crazy
march
bread."
in here?
Don't do it. Oh my god.
But have you found like there been any girls that got like kind of weird or like maybe a little creepy or
Clingy?
Clingy.
Have you had
or,
any like clingers
where you've had to ghost them?
where they're like, "Yo," at like 11:01, they're like, "Yo, yo, you up? Yo, I know you're podcasting today at noon, but like, you got to be up by now because it's 11 a.m."
It's
Okay, I had
11:04.
okay again. Like I had one girl that I could tell she caught feelings pretty quickly and was just it was a lot of the vibes were coming from her towards me, I guess, and I had to just kind of put the hammer down.
Yeah.
But to kind of go
Not that dropping
Oh,
of the
okay.
hammer.
Sorry, I didn't know.
well
what
to
you
kind
had.
of to touch on what you were saying about just be honest and all that stuff. I had to like it was half of it was like, hey, I'm just really not into this, but the other half is like, I don't know if I'm in the right headspace for this. Like it's all still fairly fresh for me. So
sure.
I just had to essentially be like, listen, like I don't regret anything that we've, you know, it was nice hanging out with you and all this stuff, but like I'm not in the right headspace for this. And then you know, I'm hoping we can just be friends and all this kind of stuff. Which she said no, she didn't want to be friends because she's like, I don't want to think about you with somebody else, blah blah blah. I'm like, dang, it's been like 2 days, like chill.
That's
2
rough.
days.
2 days.
Crazy.
Wow.
And then
What was her name? What's her address? What's her phone number?
But how
Totally
did
kidding.
They not know like
For the 10 people that are
how
gonna
do you
watch
not
this
Yeah.
first
start coming
episode.
across that way though? Like
What's that?
you know, I just feel I think it's strange when you don't think that you're coming across like that intensely to somebody. You know, like
Yeah, I mean,
like even if your feelings are that true and that strong, that's fine. Like no
Mhm.
one needs to justify that. Those are your feelings, but like
right?
maybe think of the other person involved a little bit. But yeah,
I mean,
maybe that's where crazy comes in.
Yeah, I felt a little bad though, because like after that I deleted Tinder as you do, and then
Yeah.
you're back on, then you see her again, and then I can see that she liked my shit again. I'm like, oh boy.
Here we go. Yeah.
So
Oh, boy.
Here we go.
it kind of like
then
defeats
I
the
liked
purpose
her
of everything I
stuff,
said
and
to her,
then
being like, yo, I just need to take some time away, but it's like really I need to take some time away from you.
Yeah. Block.
This is moving too fast.
it
It's
really
been
was like,
48 hours.
yeah. Well, 70. It was like it was like a Friday and then like a Sunday, so but 2 days that we hung out. But,
Oh, okay. Okay.
um,
Okay.
But still, it was a little too much too soon. And like, I'll be honest, like, I don't really know where my head's at right now. I did have to recently break off like another one for a similar reason. Like,
Damn, he's just beating him off with a stick.
I don't know about that, but like,
Get back.
Beating
But
them
that
off with
was-
something.
but
Get back. Get back
This
to
one
where
was-
you once belonged.
this one was more like, she's cool. Like everything about her school is just like it was starting to feel too like relationshipy.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I can't be that to somebody right now.
No.
So which to go back to like, oh, how's the Tinder thing? It's like I took myself off everything because I'm not in that headspace to commit to somebody at all.
No,
Well,
you just
you're-
want to hang out and have fun and like,
Yeah, just
and that's what it should be. Is like you should just be
I feel
experiencing.
like it's hard to do that.
it is hard because like that's
Yeah.
kind of how I went into this last one, and then that it still kind of ended up happening where it's like, I could tell this is, oh god, if she ends up watching this, 'cause she knows I'm doing this today. Oh boy.
Well, you've
We'll
effectively.
we'll save it for another podcast.
Oh,
but, like-
good. I think you've effectively ruined it either way.
Oh fuck it, I'll say it. No, she what I mean this, whatever. These are the trials and tribulations of my life.
These
right
are the
now.
days of our lives.
Absolutely. Well, she basically was like, "Hey, my sister and her my sister and her kids were supposed to go on a trip with her to like Mexico or something.
And now they're not going.
Now they're not going. She's
Okay.
like, would you be interested in going?" And I was like, well, first off, I don't think I'll be able to afford that, and I'd have to get approval from work. And then she said, like, "Oh, don't worry about that. It's my treat." I'm like, "Oh no,
No.
no. Which I mean, it's all well, and that's just the type of person she is. She's just very
Nice, yeah, it's a
giving.
nice
Like, and
offer,
I can't.
That is a very sweet gesture, but like, how long had it been? Like, how long had you been?
like 2 weeks.
That's still too soon.
It's too soon, and like it did. Like she apologized, like, I'm sorry I scared you off, but like it kind of did, because I know you're doing that out of the goodness of your heart. You want to hang out with me and all that stuff, but like that does come with a cost. Like, what if I go on this trip and then a week later I'm like, "Hey, like this isn't working," and then now I look like an asshole because like I just used you for that. So it's like I'd rather just clearly like this is, you feel a little more strongly than I do.
Yeah.
So I don't want to. I'm just gonna remove myself. Like, I mean, every night I've been kicking myself. I could have been to Mexico for free, but
Under what pretense? Though?
Exactly.
Like,
Well, and the thing is too is like how long was the trip? Like a week, 10 days?
I think it was like a 5-day trip.
Okay, fair enough, but still, you're putting yourself in a position where you're like literally not. I don't want to use the word trapped because that's not the right context, but you're quote unquote trapping yourself with somebody that you don't know that well.
Yeah.
For a 5-day period, and you don't know how that's gonna go. Right?
Exactly.
It could have been amazing. It could have been
It very well could have. She's a great girl.
absolutely. And I'm not saying, because I don't know her. I'm not saying that she's not. But there's any number of like things that could have happened very quickly that could have like, dude, that shit could have turned sour in the first day. Because like she could have done stuff that annoyed you, or like you could have done something that like really annoyed her for like the rest of the fun, and then you're just awkwardly sitting at the pool bar by yourself.
On a trip?
Have I ever fought with anyone? Oh yeah.
I have too.
Yeah.
was
But I mean, at the
It's
time,
not fun.
It was my wife. I mean, where's she gonna go? But like,
yeah, but that's normal.
You can't
as it
run.
turns
Wives
out,
fight all the
to her
time.
parents.
Yeah, that's fair. I know me and an ex went on a trip. We went to Chicago, and it was the first time I'd ever been there. And like we fought. And like I don't fight, and I don't like yelling.
Yeah.
Because like my mom was like a big yeller and would yell a lot. So it's like I'm automatically like deterred by yelling. So it's like if there's a problem, we can talk about it like humans. Like there's no reason to raise our voice. But like literally like me yelling at her in a restaurant, like me getting up and leaving.
Wow.
Like, I've never been on that. Like, and then having
that is rare for him.
Yeah.
And then like having to go on the trip, be on the trip, share a hotel together. And then she worked for Air Canada, so we had to take the same flight back home together. And like she switched our seats, but like we're still on the same flight together, and like never talked since. Like,
right.
You know what I mean? Like, just the kind of person that like when you fight, she would immediately get under my skin. Like she was that kind of person. She just knew immediately at what buttons to push to get me going.
That's too bad.
Like kicking her out of my car in the middle of downtown. Like, get the fuck out of my car. I've never done that to anybody in my whole life.
Wait, in Chicago?
No, in Calgary.
That's good.
But just like, you know, when she was like the person that you have those like spicy fights
bridge.
with.
He's like, get the fuck out of my car.
Jump over that bridge.
I've been on the receiving end of that, of like, get out of the car. Or no, actually, no, I had the moment of like, I'm walking home. Like, I was mad. I don't want to be in a car with you.
Yeah.
So I walked home for like 2 hours.
But I literally kicked her out of my car. Like, if I could have pushed her out with my feet, I would have.
Wow.
Like that kind of spicy. I'm just saying.
I don't know.
We never like got physical.
I don't know
like
who you
I
are.
never
You're scaring me
It's a
right
different
now.
side of you, apparently.
You are
But it
terrifying
sucks.
me.
Fighting on a trip, bad. Really bad.
I can believe. Yeah, it's like where are you gonna go? You
But the
gotta-
thing is, like, going back to your situation, is that like she has the guilt of the trip to hold over your head. So if you're not doing what she wants you to do, not that that's her manipulation,
That too.
but that's anybody's manipulation. If I pay for a trip for someone to come with me and I'm not happy with how they're acting, I'm immediately going to hold the trip over their head as
Oh,
guilt.
exactly.
And then now,
What do you
now
mean you
you're
don't
in
want to
a
go
guilt.
swim with the dolphins?
What do you mean you don't want to go parasailing?
Yeah, it's like, well, I kind of
Fuck you.
Now
I
you're
brought
stuck
you
in
here.
this
Remember how I
like
paid
weird
for this?
guilt
Yeah.
zone, and like
Yeah.
nothing is worse. Than
And again, I don't think that's what she would have done.
no,
from
no,
what I
no,
know
no,
her,
no. But you have
make
to think
all
of
these
all
valid points. Yeah.
possibilities, right?
So I think it's just I'm not,
Again, yeah, prefacing that she's probably a wonderful person
She
and would
is-
not have done
she is
any
a
of
wonderful
that
person.
shit. But like,
But these are the things I need to consider,
For sure.
and like I'd rather just not have it be a possibility.
and let's point out that's not a red flag that she's like, hey,
Mm-mm.
that's not a red flag at all for this
by any
girl.
means.
Because she like, what did you said that her sister and kids were going
Yeah.
and then couldn't go, so she
No.
was literally just like, hey, like
Do you want to come?
probably
Because-
just trying to help her sister out.
yeah. And
So
she's
like that's a
"I'm gonna-"
super nice thing.
Yeah, she's gonna go regardless whether or not I go.
For
I'm like,
sure.
cool, but it's just like I can't be like, yo.
She's
chill.
probably got girlfriends that she can be like, yo, bitch, let's go to Mexico.
Absolutely.
Spring break,
Spring break's
which
canceled.
got canceled. COVID. Think of all the foam pool parties, all that
Empty
COVID
foam,
spreading around.
like one person in
My
a foam
friend's
par-
in Mexico right now, and he keeps sending back like Snapchats of like foam party and like party, and I'm like, that to like when
Is
I
it
go on
COVID.
when I go on vacation, that is the thing that I'm staying away from.
Oh yeah.
Do you have
I
a
don't
vacation
want
planned?
like no. I'm just
Oh, just
saying
in
if
general.
I'm going somewhere hot, tropical, I want beach. I want like water,
You
like
want
real
solitude.
water.
Like-
I want real vacation. I don't
Yeah.
want like club foam parties. I don't want that. That
No.
sounds
No,
like
that's
hell.
fair.
That sounds
Is
like
it somebody that I know?
hell. No,
Okay.
it's somebody at work. Yes, but not
Fair
somebody
enough.
that you know. Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
Are you still with WestJet?
Yeah.
I don't know why I threw
Yeah,
that
that's
in
all
there. I
good.
just was like, just wanted to know.
Yeah.
You were like somebody at work. Oh, because you guys used to work
Yeah,
together.
yeah, yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
There's a connection there.
Worst place in the world.
I keep doing like. We bet I'm going to be the first person to get COVID at work.
Oh, oh yeah, right.
Why?
Fuck.
It's just my luck.
Well, and like they're I don't know.
If you know me, I have this weird black cloud that lives over my head that never goes away.
I've tried to like shoo it away,
impacts
but it
certain
doesn't.
things that I try and do. So
Yeah.
That's
part of
hilarious.
that, yeah.
He's like, what? No, it's like not Linus Pigpen from
Oh,
Charlie Brown.
But I shower.
But instead
But
of
yeah.
peanuts.
it being like a dirt cloud, it's a black cloud.
Just bad luck all
Yeah,
around.
I
eh?
have weird luck. I wouldn't say bad luck.
Weird luck.
Do you believe in luck? Do you guys believe in luck?
Yes and no.
I mean, I'm gonna say no, just because I can't think of a time where I'm like, man, this is such bad luck. But like, I think historically there have been times where they've heard bad things happen in threes.
Yeah.
That seems to have happened a few times.
Yeah.
So maybe I think there might be some truth in that, in like the universe just kind of telling you something and just
Right. Giving you little bumps and nudges.
yeah, exactly. But
Fair enough.
luck altogether, no. But whatever.
You?
What about you?
I mean, like I said, yes and no. Like I do definitely feel like certain aspects of my life I've been very lucky, but a lot of it at the same time too is like been hard work.
Yeah,
And,
for
like,
sure.
Like I don't feel like some of the positions I've been put in were like definitely some of the positions that I've been put in my life and some of the shit that I've done were just like happenstance that led like ultimately to that point.
Right.
Like if you can trace back the roadmap of your life to any particular point, like okay, well this instance led ultimately to
like the fork in the road, which
exactly.
changed. Yeah.
Well, and like so, like I think back to most specifically, like I think so with them filming Ghostbusters in Calgary and like surrounding areas this last summer,
Mhm.
right? I was, let's just say, lucky enough to get to hang out on set and like see a bunch of stuff. I had to sign an NDA, and we're 4 months away. I saw a bunch of stuff that like growing up as like a Ghostbusters fan, the coolest shit in the world, and I'm so happy that got made. And like honestly,
beyond bucket list. Yeah.
Beyond
Yeah.
bucket list shit that like I never knew.
You wouldn't even
Even
have known to
existed,
put it
yeah.
in your
Exactly,
bucket.
because like I never in a million years would have thought
That's
like,
a good
oh
one,
yeah, I want them to
beyond.
make another Ghostbusters movie
And
in
have
my
it be
backyard.
and
Yeah,
fucking like
and be able to go on set.
and well and then and them use like the high school that I graduated from as like one of the fucking key features in the movie, like
Yeah,
just shit like that.
absolutely.
So where was I going with this?
Luck.
Yeah, so like all of the like I think back to like, or when you trace back the roadmap of how I got to be able to do that, it goes back to like Krista, my wife, decided to start volunteering at a dog rescue, and she met this person who was also volunteering there who happened to work in the film industry, and they got talking. And Krista was like, "Oh, my husband wants to work in the film industry," and that person was like, "All right, give me his number. Like, let's see if we can hook him up." And that's literally how that started. And then you see the growth spawn from that moment into like all the people I know now and all of the different things that I've done and like all the, like just the roadmap of like all these, which ultimately led to like, holy shit, I met Paul Rudd and I met Jason Reitman and I got to hang out and like see like a bunch of stuff and like it was super cool, right? And
Jealous.
What's that?
Jealous.
Just a bit. I mean, I love Paul. Rudd.
not that I want to. I'm not.
No.
I
I'm
don't wanna
happy
look-
for you. Honestly, I am super happy for you. I love that you got to experience that because, like,
I mean, I'm
no,
not.
out of everybody who,
I'm kidding, I
who
am.
loves
I
Ghostbusters,
100% am, yeah.
like, I'm happy for you. It comes from a real jealous spot, though.
Oh, of course.
Do you know? I'm
And
not
I
even
don't-
gonna bullshit.
We would
you,
be
like,
lying if we said
yeah.
we didn't wish
But
it
I'm
was
happy
us.
for you that it
Yeah,
happened. of
Absolutely.
course.
And even at the same time, like my experience with that was so small in the grand scheme of like people that I know that got to like actually work on the movie. Although it was funny, the one day I showed up on set, there was people that I know that were working and they saw me hanging out, and one of them was just like, "Hey, what are you doing these days?" He's like, "What are you doing these days?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm doing this or whatever." And he was like, "No, like, are you busy?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm busy. Why?" And he was just like, "Oh, because," he was like, "we need people." Like they were like, they were so busy on that show that like me being there that one day, they were like, "Do you want to come and work?" And I was like, "No, this is enough for me. Thank you very much. I'm like, I love you all, but like I can see like how much of a shit show this kind of is."
Absolutely.
And it didn't even look like it was really a shit show. It just like, that's a big fucking movie. That's the biggest movie that's ever been shot in Alberta.
Ghostbusters?
Yes. Because I'd say that's 100% the biggest budget movie that's ever been shot in Alberta. And
More
there's
so than I'm not arguing. The only reason because I can think of a couple ones like Inception was shot here, or not Inception. Interstellar. Sorry, Christopher Nolan.
this much of Interstellar was shot here.
Oh, okay, so you're talking like
The entire movie.
Oh, okay.
So like Inception came here. Yeah, they shot that much of it here.
Oh, okay.
Out of Fortress Mountain.
I see what you're
Jumanji came here. They shot this much of it.
Yeah.
Ghostbusters came here. They shot the entire fucking thing here. The entire, like, normally productions would come here.
Yeah, for
They
just
would
certain
shoot
locations.
like, yeah, exactly. They'd be like, all right, we're gonna shoot like in Fort McLeod. We're gonna shoot in small town. We're gonna shoot in Crossfield. We're gonna
I see
shoot
what you're saying.
wherever, and then they're gonna go like, all right, we're going back to LA and we're gonna shoot everything else on the green screen.
Yeah.
No, they literally shot. They used the They took over the Calgary Film Center for like months. The
Right.
Calgary Film Center was like fucking bumping because they took it over for so long.
So they pretty much shot the entire movie in Alberta.
They shot
Like,
the entire movie
okay.
in Alberta.
Okay, that makes more sense.
No, pretty much.
Pretty
The
much.
entire movie.
The
Something was done in
the
LA.
entire movie.
Something was done in
So
LA.
anyway, I guess my point being that like, yes, I believe in luck in some fashion.
I forgot what we were even talking about.
I know,
I was
right?
like, so hyped on the story.
No, for sure. I believe in luck in some fashion. But do I credit like in like I said, like if you trace the roadmap and back to certain points, like yes, absolutely. Like I'm very lucky that happened because it led to this. But like a lot of other things are like due to hard work and like actually
for sure.
making most of it's just
Manifest
making
destiny.
like you reap what you sow, right? Like whatever you're putting out, hopefully it's
It comes back to you.
exactly.
I mean, so just one other question because I know you can't talk about too
Yes.
much about the Ghostbusters. So, but when you went out there, you weren't like an extra in it or anything.
No.
You were literally just spectating. You were not lucky. You were fortunate enough to
So I think I went out.
Just go watch them.
I went to the I went down to the set. I think 4 or 5 times. Well, they're filming in my home in Crossfield, in my hometown. I was like, of course, I'm like, I'm just gonna keep going out there and like, and just checking out what they were doing and stuff. And the first few times I went, because like, most of the time when they were filming, they had a group of people, like spectators they'd keep them like 200 yards away,
right,
and group them together, and they're like, all right, quiet, like we're rolling and stuff like that, and just kind of like people would just sit there and watch like school buses for like hours, hoping to catch a glimpse of like Paul Rudd or like whoever, right? And quite a few times the McKenna, not little girl, but the girl that's in the movie, she came out and actually like came over to the crowd and was like meeting people, and people were like so excited, and she's do you know who I'm talking about? She plays like little Sabrina in the Sabrina series, and she's also,
I don't.
You never watched Sabrina?
It's on Netflix. No,
You're talking the
Netflix Sabrina.
I don't watch Sabrina. I don't watch Riverdale.
Dude, Sabrina was dope.
Is it good?
It's Satan. It's all about Satan.
Oh,
it's tight.
Are you about Satan?
You like Satan?
Do you like Satan?
Anyway,
you're Satan lover.
Satan.
He's a Satan lover.
So like, she would come over. I don't think Finn Wolfhard came over, and like he might have met a few people. That kid is tall, by the way.
Is he really? He looks like he would be.
He walked past me, dude. He's like 6.5 feet tall. Like he is fucking,
no.
Yes, he is gigantic. I was blown away by how tall he was.
How did they film? Like,
usually you hear the opposite.
Like,
he's so tiny, so short.
No, he's
tall.
He's gigantic.
Finn
Wolfman? Finn Wolfhard.
Finn Wolfhard.
That's amazing. That's a
It's
Viking.
a great.
Yeah, from
That's a
Stranger
great
Things.
Name.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So, what?
No, go on.
So, for the most part, I was kind of with the crowd across the street, and then the one day I was there, I had a friend who was actually on set as she was there as Jason Reitman's assistant that day.
Okay.
And I was standing across the street, and she actually saw me and was just like, "Come here." And I was like, "All right." So out of like the crowd of like 200 people that were across the street, I just like strolled across the street, and I was like, "What's up?" And she was like, "Okay, come here." She's like, "You're not hanging out across the street. She was like, "You're on set today." She got me a visitor's pass. Obviously, like I said, I had to sign an NDA, so I can't talk about what I saw and stuff. But like,
Did you meet Slimer?
Did you? Was he there?
Was he
I
there?
can neither confirm.
Did you see Stay Puft?
I didn't see anybody.
Didn't see anything.
Did you see Zool?
No.
Rick Moranis?
No, I didn't see anybody.
Okay.
I didn't see nothing. But she got me a visitor's pass, and I got to hang out, and like that was cool.
For
like,
sure.
Right.
But that only happened once. That only happened the one time. Every other time I was just there, like
Just there. Yeah.
And
so how did she know you? Like, how did she know you?
because I'd worked with her on other shows. That's where the roadmap. Like, if I hadn't worked with her on, and not only that, we worked together on Hell on Wheels. And we became friends because one day she showed up to Hell on Wheels wearing this sweater that had Slimer on it. And I was like, I fucking love that sweater. That's amazing. And she was like, ah. And I was like, look at my tattoos. And she was like, oh my God. So we like bonded over the Ghostbusters thing. So like the fact that we were both there was like very, very, very huge.
She knew how special it was to
exactly.
you.
And that's, yeah.
That's the word.
And that's why.
It's a big word.
Also,
it's a big word.
One of the other like big, I don't know if I can't remember if I told you this. The other like big huge thing that I
Doesn't
saw.
matter if you told me. You're telling them.
Well, I can tell this because we actually did get photos of, like, there was a crowd of 200 people there. There was this thing they were filming where they were in a car garage, and basically the scene is the Ecto-1 comes like fucking roaring out of the garage and just goes like fucking like driving around the corner. That's all it was. That's all the
like
scene.
A shot, like
yeah,
a
that
scene,
was the scene. And you've seen the latter half of that in the trailer.
Okay.
The trailer, like when she's like, I think that's where it is, like where she's in the gunner seat or whatever, and they're driving around the town like kind of with the proton stream. I think that happens after what we saw filmed.
Right.
And I can't tell you, like, I get chills thinking about it now. Dude, that was like the coolest thing I've ever seen in my life. The coolest thing.
How many times did they do it?
They did it twice. They did it twice.
It's probably pretty hard on the car. Hey?
Very hard on the car because they also put the wrong. I heard something where they put the wrong chassis or something. Like, there was something about the car that wasn't quite right, so it kept breaking down, or it kept breaking or something. Something kept happening to the car, but like literally, it came screaming out of the garage, and they had it pinned as it went around the corner. Like the back end was going, and it just sounded amazing. Like they had a V8 under the hood. Like it was so loud, and it was like I will take that to my grave.
That's
one of
sweet.
the coolest things I've ever seen in my entire life.
That's
and
awesome.
I cannot wait to see that fucking movie.
I can't even think of the coolest thing I've seen. In my
That's
entire
awesome.
life.
That's
What was
super
your
sweet.
question again?
Who are you again?
Why are
what's
you
your
here?
name?
Who let you in?
Welcome
Are you
to-
our guest?
Welcome to the show. It's not a guest. It's Jared. No, like, what was your question again?
He just asked you what you experienced.
No,
that's all.
I think I was asking you if you were an extra or like if
Oh,
you
no,
just
I
literally
wasn't.
just went to show
Oh,
you got
okay.
No, I just literally went to hang out and check it out.
and then you just had a life altering moment.
Oh,
No big deal.
Massively like that.
No
deal.
Okay, this goes back to what we were saying at the beginning. This is why I didn't think 2019 was that bad, because 2019
Totally, I understand.
2019 for me was life altering in
A lot of highlights.
so many ways.
Yeah.
In so many good ways. That whole experience of Ghostbusters being like the top of the list.
Yeah, you got the new house. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
that
it was
was a nightmare.
oh, but I mean, at the
Like
end of the day,
trying to
though,
get into the. Oh yeah, I guess like we can point out we're not in the old blue room anymore.
No, we're not.
We're in a completely. We're like we got a new office and like we're in a totally different space
We
now
bought
because
an office
we-
building.
Yes, we bought an office building
That's
downtown.
how popular the Blue Room got, and we had so many sponsors inundating us. That
Yeah.
we were
Why
like,
do you think I've
"Listen,
said Little Caesars so much in this episode?
we're gonna build a
Little
building?"
Caesars. No, but like honestly, yeah, it just that was like it.
Do you need a moment?
Did you feel? Because it's bringing back a lot of stress. Did you feel as his friend going through, watching him go through this?
the house purchasing?
Yeah, like the
Talk
just
to
the
me.
whole the whole thing about it was so hard to watch from the outside
It 100%
because
was.
like
Because as a friend, you couldn't do anything to
yeah,
help.
you can't do anything.
You can't do anything. And I
No.
think I was just like, oh, it was bonkers because I'm like,
It was crazy.
wait, you bought a house and your house hasn't sold?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
And now it hasn't
What
sold
the
by the
fuck?
day.
I blame-
Like, what the fuck?
And then the date that you told me came and went. And I was like, is my friend gonna be living on the
Yes.
streets?
I almost was.
Oh
I was like,
my
you might lose
lord!
Very-
everything. Like there's
Yeah.
a chance that you could lose everything.
Very yeah.
'Cause, like-
it came very close.
Like
But like,
you,
that's kind of why, just to go back quickly,
Yeah.
was that why we're not in the blue room is because that was in the basement
Yeah, that was
of
in
your
the
house.
Yeah, that was in the
which
old house,
is
the
what
old
you
studio.
set up,
Yeah,
and then he sold his house and moved.
Attempted.
and- well, you told, but
We did end up
eventually,
selling
over
it, yeah.
3 to 4 months, you sold your house
Yeah.
and moved and
yeah.
stuff. So, but people ask me, and I'm sure people ask
Mhm.
you, like about the shows and stuff.
Oh,
so
it was
we had
almost
to
too
take a
many people to
hiatus.
count.
Yeah, I know for sure. And
We
me
were just, like,
inundated at
asking
work.
about the show.
Like
Inundated
I
at work.
couldn't even focus on work. I was just constantly DMs like, what the fuck is happening with the blue room? I was like, man,
Actually,
no, man.
Oh.
I mean, I had maybe like 10 people over the
Okay.
course of it asked me like, yo, when are you getting back into that? I'm like, I don't know, man. I
Like,
think,
it's not
I think
up to
Lincoln's gonna be
us.
living on the street. I don't know
Doing
what to
it from
tell
the
you.
corner.
Yeah.
The blue corner.
But,
Yeah.
like, it was
The
there
blue
was a
trash
shift
can.
because like
Yeah.
when before all that, like like Lincoln and and Krista as well, like I was talking to you guys fairly regularly, and then this happened. It was like I'd be lucky to hear from Lincoln like once a week.
Yeah.
oh,
Totally,
it was
totally.
depressing,
Oh,
and and not for nothing. It wasn't obviously wasn't you guys.
No, of
It was
course not.
totally just like the position that my wife put me in, and
The position you guys were in.
You guys, were,
Yeah,
Wait,
because-
okay, wait. Can
So we might as well say, like, kind of briefly what, like, just generally what happened, if that's okay.
yeah, of course.
Yeah. Well.
Well, yeah. So like, well, and like,
Not my story to tell, but I
No,
just
it
want to make
just-
sure you feel comfortable talking about it because we,
yeah, of course.
some people don't know really what's.
Well, and like we're getting back into the swing. Like now that springtime's happening and we're in the new house, and things have kind of like leveled off.
It's a beautiful house, by the way.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, yeah.
And like, yeah, now that things have kind of leveled off in like other aspects of life, like it's kind of like, okay, I feel for me like I can get back into, because obviously I'm the laziest person in this group. So therefore, like nothing, everything gets done. You know, I don't know. Nothing gets done unless I kind of.
It's all you though. I tell everybody that. They're like, "When's the show? When are you gonna do the show?" When
Yeah.
the show? Listen, I tell everybody, I show up.
That's exactly it.
I
That's what I'm telling
fucking
you, like,
show
listen,
up. I'm like, what? Oh, okay. You want me to talk into this?
I
Okay.
can do that.
Does everything else. He sets it up. It's in his house. He cuts it. He does the intro. It's all him.
I know, and there's been multiple times, like at least 2 or 3 times, where I'm like, dude, is there anything that I can do? To help
For
expedite?
sure.
But knowing that I can't.
Yeah,
do shit.
no, I can't do shit either. But you have to throw that
I know,
out there.
It's an empty like thing. But
I
it's
did
like,
that today. I'm like, do you want me to do
at least
anything?
here you go. Like,
He's like, no.
No, and believe me,
go back
like
to Little Caesars.
Stuff crust.
don't get me wrong. It doesn't go unnoticed that you're both just like, what can I do? And it's just like
No, but
nothing. Like, I'm really glad we're keeping up this charade for so long.
Like, how pissed are you? Just know you just have to put like a couple idiots. Just be like, how can we help?
No, but like I
Okay,
asked
man.
you guys. Well, no, I asked you guys to do this. Like,
uh.
because for years I've wanted to get you in front of the camera, and you
I'm glad
too.
we're finally here.
yeah,
Absolutely.
for sure.
And now it's like actually happening. And like well, you and I, okay, I have a ton of footage that you and I did
Yeah.
that I still have to cut together and put out, and all of it is gold. Like all of those mystery boxes that we did are
Yeah.
fucking gold, dude. Like
Cool,
though,
cool.
and I can't, because I think we only put out one mystery box episode.
I honestly can't even remember what we've shot because it's been that
It's
that
been a
of
long time. Yeah, it's been a long time, and it's gonna get to the point where I'm gonna need an editor to like help me and
For
like,
sure, for
come on
sure.
board.
I clearly chose like the wrong topic to be part of the videos for. Like,
Why?
once I saw your guys' food ones, I was like,
Why, dude? I
I'm
love
all
your guys'
that-
show.
No, I know.
I love your guys'
I'm
show.
The food? Oh, I know. Yeah, it's so
Like,
good.
no, it's great. No, I love.
No, and
your
then we
guys'
have the one where we went to Carmine's.
Carmine's, yeah.
We went to the pizzeria, and it was so good. Like, and I feel like every day I see Carmine's Instagram, and I'm just like,
He thinks we hate
oh
him.
my
He
god,
thinks
I
the
have
footage
to.
is terrible.
Does he really?
He thinks it's all.
Does he really?
bad.
Oh, okay. No,
This is
I
the
have
released
to.
one. Okay.
No,
My
I have
buddy,
to.
yeah, my buddy opened up a pizza place, and
Oh,
so
sweet.
back in August.
Oh,
But this was just as he was getting ready to sell,
Yep, no,
about
I
to
get
sell
it.
his house and
I
stuff.
get
So
it.
we went there and we shot an episode with him, and it was awesome. It was great.
No,
And
the
we
episode
haven't
is
released it
Yeah,
because he started getting into the whole
well,
like.
granted, okay. Here's the thing: is like in because we were doing stuff up until August. Once it was like, okay, I'm gonna be dealing with some house stuff. It was like, all right, like I only intended to put it on the back burner for a little while. It was never intended to be this thing like, oh, I'm dropping it fully for like the next fucking 7 months. Like it was never intended to be that.
yeah.
It was always intended to be like, okay, I just need to set it aside for a little while so I can focus on my job and selling my house. And then selling my house overtook everything. And all of a sudden it was like, holy fuck, like we might lose everything. So now that all that shit is kind of like fully in the back burner, like, and it's tough to like restart too, because you have to like kind of, and you and I even shot an episode. We shot I have footage of I think we did, was it Once Upon a Time in Hollywood? No, what movie did we do?
Oh,
I can't remember. We
did
shot an
something
episode
else,
of
yeah.
something, and then like a week went by and I just didn't have time to like cut it together. And then I think you were just like, man, it's just like
yeah. There's no point. Like,
there's no point in
struggle there
releasing it
and
because
talking
it's
about,
not topical anymore.
yeah. Mhm.
And
Oh, we did it for now. It was Hobbs and Shaw.
oh, was that what it was?
It was a couple things, but Hobbs and Shaw was the big one. I think we were talking about how stupid it was, but how much we loved it actually.
What was the movie we saw in D-Box again with Aaron?
Hobbs and Shaw.
Was that
That
what?
was it.
Okay, so that makes right, because we were talking with Aaron about the show.
Yeah.
When we went that. Okay, yeah.
You know, but I mean, at this point, I'm totally fine if nobody gets to see that one because it's
That movie was so dumb.
I love
We
it.
can just say it right now. That movie was
So dumb, but I loved it.
Real.
Every second of it, I loved it, but it was so stupid.
And I hope they never make another one.
There's a lot of movies like that.
They
Though,
will, though.
where
Yeah.
like, this is hot garbage, but I love it.
Yeah, absolutely. Apparently, that's what Bloodline is. Or
Bloodshot.
Bloodshot. Vin Diesel. You know, thanks to COVID, it'll be the #1 movie of the
Oh,
weekend.
man.
Like,
Oh my god. Streamed. And there's gonna be no more movie theaters. It's gonna come right out on video. Or streaming service or
so
whatever.
many movies getting pushed back though.
They're
Yeah,
getting
it
pushed
is
back.
crazy.
And well, the Hunt movie was already, you know, The Hunt?
Yeah.
That movie was already delayed because of controversies due to like some mass shootings or something.
Okay, yeah.
So they shelved the movie. Like the movie, they canceled the premiere of that movie, and all of the marketing went away
Yeah.
for like a long time.
Mhm.
And then randomly out of nowhere, they're like, we're still gonna release it. It's coming out on March 13th. And like they've been like advertising that movie for like a few months now again,
Yeah.
and they're like, yeah, March 13th. And what happens? March 11th, COVID fucking. They're like, shut the world down. March 12th, shut the world down. March 13th, don't go out of your house. And
It's like,
I'm sure I think, is it Universal or I can't. I think it's Universal that's released, or Blumhouse. I think it's a
yeah, it's
Blumhouse.
Blumhouse. Yeah, you're right. Yep.
In association with Universal. It's like all of a sudden they're probably just like, great. Now nobody's gonna go to this fucking movie no matter what, because
Yeah.
Should have
Like,
released it
curse.
4 months ago.
well, exactly. Like,
Absolutely.
yeah, it's I don't know. It just that one made me laugh because they had shelved it for so long that.
There's also that. So we're taking you off the top because I don't know if you were done with your house. Because
Oh, I don't care.
all I remember is the amount of like suicide threats that I got from this guy was too high. Like, I'm ready to blow my brains out. Text like that. I'm like, hey, how's things going with the house?
Oh,
Like,
me?
Yeah.
Oh, I was very
Oh,
ready
dude,
to like
you
jump
were
off
just
a
like, I need
bridge.
to just fucking swallow a bullet here. Like, it was bad.
Put my head in a blender or what? Yeah.
Put my heart in a
Thankfully, they're
blender.
on the other side of it because like that. As
Yeah.
stressful as I'm sure that was for you, I mean, we were kind of
I was worried.
You know,
I was very worried. Yes.
we were getting the effects of it
Yes.
too. Like, and it's
Yeah.
we're
Yeah,
very
we
happy.
were-
that-
As
Yeah.
sad as it was, I won't even lie. There was like one night where it all culminated in like, Krista had gone to bed. And this is really sad. Krista had gone to bed, and it was like super late at night. And I was just like up watching TV or whatever. And then I like shut everything down, went to go to bed, and I just collapsed on the stairs in like tears because I was like,
Oh,
fuck.
Buddy.
Like, what the fuck? And I was there for like, I honestly sat on the stairs like for 2 hours, just like putting it out, like, please don't let me get like so fucked in this.
Yeah.
And it was rough, but like, on the other side of it now, like,
Normally.
I definitely,
Probably
that's
the
a
most stressed you've ever been.
that's the most stressed out I've ever been in my life, I think.
Mm.
And I definitely would trade that experience for anything. Like,
Well, I mean, that's an interesting point because you could trade the experience, but do you think that there's anything
I
that
learned
you-
a lot
yeah,
from that.
like,
Holy
what
shit.
did you learn from it? And all
Oh
that?
my god, I learned
Yeah.
so much from that. Like, I would never do it the same way again.
Of course. So
Never.
that's, I mean, I think at the end of the day, you know.
Yeah, but like, I don't know if a life experience should be that fucking like
Like
You're
a
that-
fucking heart attack. and
life
die.
or death.
Like, it should be
almost.
like a tap on the shoulder, not a punch in the face.
Yeah, like that was
Hey,
pretty.
you might want to think about your decisions, but yeah, I got what you're saying.
Yeah.
Well, we're just very happy that's done.
Did you hear that?
What?
I saw you hear that. If that
I
makes
turned the
sense.
volume on the
He
knob
was
up,
like-
and I was like, oh,
He, like,
because it went
jolted.
wong in my ears. Yikes, that sucked. Woo.
That was funny.
Did you hear that?
I was just gonna say, speaking of like cursed movies, there's that new X-Men, New Mutants,
Right.
that was already shelved for like 2 years or something. With that
Is it supposed to be like a horror movie?
Yeah, it's
though?
supposed to be like a
Esque,
horror
where
movie.
they're all
Wait,
in a house.
New Mutants.
It's
They're-
already been like they've already had it shelved for that long.
I don't know about 2 years, but definitely like a year. I remember seeing trailers for it a very long time ago.
Yeah.
And then
Wait, I didn't. They've already shot it.
yeah, it's been filmed.
Is
Oh,
it
I had-
out?
It's not out yet.
Oh,
I
okay,
think it's
it's
supposed to
not
be coming
out.
out pretty quickly, and I think it received like really poor like test screenings.
Okay.
And like what's her face? Macy Williams from Game of Thrones.
Yeah,
Is
yeah,
it?
yeah.
Yeah. but yeah, now with COVID as well, that it got pushed back again. So I'm pretty sure by the time this thing sees the light of day, it'll have been shelved for like two or 3 years. Like,
Wow.
the whole movie's done.
I didn't know that. I didn't know the movie. I thought they were, because like now that you say it, like I've been hearing the title New Mutants for a while.
Yep. Yeah, it kept getting pushed back. Quiet Place 2 got pushed back. It was supposed to come out this weekend or next weekend, and I was really excited for that. But
no, the biggest pushback of all, James Bond.
James Bond.
They pushed it back to November, dude.
Yeah,
it was supposed to come out in April. They pushed it back to November.
I hate Daniel Craig.
Okay, can we talk? Can we?
Craig.
You don't like Daniel Craig either?
No,
I'm
like
gonna say hate. Is a strong
wait.
word.
Okay, if you don't like Daniel Craig, raise your hand. Okay. If you like Daniel Craig, raise your hand.
Yeah, whatever. Fuck it. I'm here.
If you're neutral on Daniel Craig.
Oh, I didn't know there was a third option.
Oh.
Pull a Mitch Hedberg
How
on
can
me.
you be neutral?
So okay.
Neither here nor there. He's not
So
gonna sell me on a movie.
have you watched all 4 of his James Bond movies?
No.
Yes.
No.
Okay, I hadn't either until like it was like 2 weeks ago. I quarantined myself pre-COVID.
You knew what was up.
I knew what was happening, and I watched all 4 of them back to back, like over the course of like 3 days, and they're not great movies. They're not. However, and I was forever like, why the fuck Daniel Craig is James Bond? Why? It doesn't make sense. I'm more sold on him as James Bond now than I was before. However, those movies are still not. Casino Royale is the best one out of all of them.
Okay, I wanted to stop you there and tell you I think Casino Royale is hands down a great movie.
Casino Royale is an excellent movie.
Okay.
The other 3 are kind of eh. The Sam Mendes ones, the last 2, Spectre and Skyfall, they're better than Quantum of Solace. Quantum of Solace is by far the worst one out of all 4.
I would agree. Yeah,
I saw that movie.
You saw Quantum?
It's funny because it's gonna end up that's the only one you saw. Is it the only one you saw?
Yeah.
And it's the worst.
Well, so
one
that's why you don't like.
No, but I
Go
grew up
watch
during the Pierce Brosnan, like because we talked about this.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah.
The Pierce Brosnan.
So
group. Yeah, that was
like
us.
that was my generation. So I attribute him to being, suave, tall, dark, handsome, and like Daniel Craig is short, stout. He looks like a catfish.
And I am sorry, not that handsome.
He is not handsome.
He's not.
He looks like a bulldog or a catfish and had a baby. And his head he looks like Stewie from Family Guy when he grew up.
You think his head is too big for his body?
I think his head is weird shaped. And I don't like I think it's because I personally attribute it to being like a tall, dark, and handsome, which he's not.
He doesn't fit
He's
the
short,
mold.
stout,
Even
and blonde.
before, because Pierce Brosnan had that.
He has like a
him and like Timothy Dalton had
sophistication
very,
about him.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like when he walked into the room, like in Casino Royale, like he had that presence about him where he would walk into
GoldenEye.
Well, or
you didn't
sorry,
see
GoldenEye. Yes, sorry, yes.
Do.
But you know what I mean? Like he had that presence about him. I just feel like Daniel Craig doesn't have that. So yeah, actually, I snuck out of a movie, or our movie ended, and I went right across the movie theater into Quantum of Solace. So I got there right as the beginning credits ended. So it's the beginning scene. And I just sat there and I was like, I'm glad this movie's free. Because like, if I fucking paid for this movie, I would be fucking choked. Like I would be choked.
Yeah, fair enough.
And like it's probably a bad thing that I prejudged the other movies on that. And like, okay, I'll give them a go. But
Did you walk out of a different movie, or like a movie ended? Like
I didn't watch the end of Quantum Solace, I'll tell you that much. I walked the fuck out of that movie.
I didn't even pay for this, and it's not even.
I've only
worth
ever
my
walked
time.
out of 2 movies. The other one was the Batman and Robin movie with Mr.
Arnold
Freeze.
Schwarzenegger.
Yeah,
Arnold
was
Schwarzenegger.
Nice
that
to meet
movie,
you.
I was just like,
Everybody
I can't
chill.
get over it.
Yeah.
Like it's just so bad.
Oh, it's
terrible.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But
Clooney
anyways.
has apologized many times for that.
Val
movie.
Kilmer though, he was worse.
You think
You
Val
think Val
Kilmer was
Kilmer was-
worse than George Clooney?
Yes. Yeah, that's my
Yikes.
first opinion.
Wow.
Blonde.
Wow.
What's with all these blonde dudes? Batman's not blonde, first of all.
So wait.
So who's your Batman then? Keaton?
Well, that was the generation I grew up with, but it's not
Yeah.
my Batman.
Okay, who's your Batman?
is your
I don't
Batman?
know, like
Adam West. because you're like a 900 years old.
Wow.
Wow.
He is classic.
He
Sure.
is classic.
He set the
Yes,
bar,
yeah.
I guess, for a lot of the Batman isms that you would see nowadays.
Yeah.
But no, I would say Christian Bale probably holds it down as being probably the most badass Batman,
Okay.
I think.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like fucking Ben Affleck. Like, come on, dude. Come on. That
Yo.
movie where
I'm gonna have to wear my I love Affleck
where
shirt
he
for
is
this.
driving it opens with him driving a Jeep. I was out. The second that he's racing around the streets, driving around in the Jeep, is that in
That's
the
the
Justice
beginning.
League
No,
movie?
that's in the beginning of Batman
v
vs Superman.
Superman.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. In that, I was automatic. Batman does not drive a Jeep.
But Bruce Wayne might.
No, fuck that.
Actually,
He
no, you're right.
would
Bruce Wayne
not
wouldn't
drive
either.
a
He
Jeep.
wouldn't either. He'd be. I mean, if anything, he'd be driving like a fucking like a Land
Immediately,
Rover or
that set
something.
the
Pretty
tone
sure
for me that this movie is
He
being
stole
paid
the
for.
Jeep.
Who cares?
I'm
Steal a
pretty
better
sure he
car.
stole the Jeep.
Steal a better fucking car.
No, I'm
You
pretty. No,
Ben Affleck, get a
your
better
argument is
sponsor.
invalid because he
Get a better sponsor.
he stole the Jeep at the beginning of the movie. Like,
Oh.
we don't see him steal it, but you know
so
he
he's
stole.
a criminal.
No,
He is a.
he's
a man on a
because
mission
he's
to
racing to like fucking try and stop Superman from fucking up the
exigent
city.
circumstances, man. Like there's
He was
Bigger
at
problem.
There was a lot
no, he
there was a lot going on. There's literally an alien flying around.
Wasn't he at Wayne Tower and fucking?
That's where he was going to. That's where he was trying to get to Wayne Tower.
Is that? Oh right.
Right.
I'm just glad that he eventually was like, you know what? I am terrible at this, and I'm gonna pass. I'm glad that he self-recognized and was like, you know what? The fans are right. I'm a piece of shit. I'm gonna step back from this movie.
I hate you so much.
I know.
right
I
now.
don't give a fuck. And that he was like, you know what? I don't want the World War III to start over this. So
I don't think that
Ah.
Ben Affleck was the problem with any of those movies.
Nope.
Fair enough.
Personally, I think Ben Affleck
Nope.
actually did a pretty stand-up job as being Batman.
Yes, he did.
Okay.
Same as Bruce Wayne.
Yes, he did.
Yes,
Yes,
he
he
did.
did.
I think. I don't know. I actually really liked his portrayal. I
That's
think he
fair.
just.
Yep.
I just think he got done dirty, especially in Justice
He
League,
got
man.
done so fucking dirty.
But do you think he was cool in the movie? Like, do you
Yes.
think he was rad? Do you think
Yes.
that
As
he...
Batman, 100%. I did.
Really?
Yeah. Dude. Okay, that like the fucking the sequence in Batman versus the warehouse sequence or whatever. Like, dude,
The
Yeah,
dream
okay, that's
sequence?
the
Not the
that
dream
is a good
sequence, when
fight
he-
scene,
when
he jumps down from the
Alfred
corner.
drops him off on the top from the plane and he hops in
Yeah.
and he
I
throws.
barely remember those movies.
That
They're
is
terrible.
that's the best
Oh, they're
fight
bad.
scene
Those movies
in
are
that
bad.
movie.
Exactly.
In that movie because he's not moving.
Oh,
at
yes, I
minus
remember.
8
Yeah,
miles
yeah,
an
yeah,
hour.
yeah.
he
In
throws
the
out
other-
these things to like incapacitate their
yeah,
guns
yeah,
or
I
whatever.
remember that.
That sequence was fucking. But I mean, is that Ben
One-
Affleck being cool, or is that more like
2
Zack
minute
Snyder?
sequence. I don't know.
You
man.
know,
I need more than that.
The movies were terrible. Don't get me wrong, but I
But
don't think
that's
it's Ben
Zack
Affleck.
Snyder's
And
fault.
then what happened at the end of that movie? They're making out while he's trying to save Superman who's dying. And who's fighting fucking... No, that's Justice League. Never mind. No, but in Justice League when what is her name?
Amy Adams.
No, he's talking about Gal Gadot as Wonder
yeah,
Woman.
Wonder Woman. She's like busy fighting and
Oh,
saving
or whatever
the
her
whole
name.
universe while they're like trying to make out in the well.
Oh yeah. You know,
Just
Justice
weird.
League has got to be one of the most forgettable movies I think I've
That
ever
was
seen.
sad.
Okay, can we talk about the fucking? But can we talk about what were you going to talk about?
Yeah.
I was gonna go back to Christian Bale, or not Christian Bale, to Daniel Craig, because let's.
Let's
Yeah,
let's
yeah,
go
yeah.
back to Daniel Craig for a second, and then I want to talk more about Justice League.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So with Daniel Craig, your only exposure to him
Quantum of
is
Solace.
Quantum of
Yeah,
Solace,
yeah.
and so that's why you don't like Daniel Craig the actor. You don't like Daniel Craig as James Bond.
Did you watch Knives Out?
I'm very like oddly judgmental sometimes.
So
I
because
know.
you didn't like him as James Bond in Quantum of Solace, you now don't give him a chance at anything
Yes.
else.
He is phenomenal in Knives Out.
Oh, you know what? To eat my words a little bit,
Please do.
I liked him in The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo.
Oh
I
yeah,
like-
right. I forgot he was.
I
in that.
liked that movie. I know that the book series was huge and everyone loved the books. And I know they came out with like 7 different movies of the same fucking thing.
Yeah. Well,
I liked
Well, they
that
did the
one.
trilogy, I think.
I don't think they did.
they never
the first...
finished it.
Oh, they
never
never finished it
finished it.
because Fincher.
didn't want to do the second
Well,
one. or
Fincher
something.
didn't end up
It
wanting
made
to
no
do
sense
it
to me.
because
Because that first movie's
They
really
did-
well
It's really
done.
good. Yep.
they did it was Fincher, right?
Fincher directed the
He
Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. Yep.
but it the one with Stellan Skarsgård. Is it Stellan or is it who was in the
The original.
Yeah,
I did
the Swedish one or whatever.
I know the
Was it
girl
Swedish?
Lisbeth Salander was played by Noomi Rapace was the girl,
The original one.
the original
And then Rooney Mara played her in
the David Fincher
in the
remake.
U.S.
She's
version.
incredible.
She's incredible in that.
It's one of the rare remakes that I truly feel is better than
Fair enough.
the
They're
original.
both really.
They're both really
Then
good, but the
how does
Fincher one is
how does
just
that movie just
so much
die?
better. I don't know. I think the timing of it, I think it was a little too dark for because it came out around Christmas. I remember. I think it just wasn't. It was like
That might be one of his darkest movies
Yeah.
that he's ever made.
yeah. They were. I remember the advertisements for it being like the feel bad
But it
movie
was
of,
so
the, of the
well
season.
done.
Ew, it was
It
amazing.
was a really well done movie, and I do like him in that movie.
Mhm.
So to eat my words a little bit,
Yeah.
Mhm.
he was really good in that movie. But yeah, to be fair, I didn't like him in Quantum of Solace. I don't like him as James Bond.
That's
That
fair.
will leak over into other movies,
Mhm.
but
That's fair.
is it fair? It's totally not fair. It's not.
But
We should be
your
more
opinion
open-minded.
is valid. You
Yeah,
can
well,
like what
I
you
mean,
like.
on very limited, I guess.
Yeah.
You guys are pointing out very limited.
Well,
so.
and watch Knives Out because
Yeah.
on it they're starting an entire. They're making another movie with his character from Knives Out,
yeah,
and like his southern drawl, like fucking detective, like
yeah.
persona
I
in
would
that film.
love to see him in a role like that. Actually,
Dude, watch.
Say in like what's that? The one.
Lucky Logan Lucky.
No, sorry.
Oh,
the
he's so good in
the
Logan
HBO series that the first ones that was really good with Woody Harrelson and.
Oh, True Detective.
Detective.
I could see him playing a character
Yes.
in a show like that
Yeah.
where he is a Southern cop, which would be a complete detachment from
Yeah.
everything he's ever kind of played before
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
I know of, anyways. But yeah, anyways. So, but yeah, that would be sweet. I should give that movie a watch.
You'll.
Knives
I
Out?
think Knives Out. Yeah, I think you'll really like him. That movie wasn't my like. It's really well done. It wasn't my favorite movie of the year. However, his performance in the movie fucking makes the whole thing.
I
for me.
trust you guys. Yeah, that's fair.
really good.
Have you guys seen Birds of Prey?
I watched it yesterday.
Oh.
You did.
I did. Have
That
you
movie-
seen?
seen it?
I have not seen it. That movie
Did
just
you
kind of
have
came
any-
and went.
Did
Like,
you have any interest in seeing that movie at all?
um
Given the fact that, like, did you have any feelings on the
Suicide Squad?
Suicide Squad movie, and maybe more specifically Margot Robbie and her role?
I hated Suicide Squad.
Okay.
With a
As
burning
did everyone
passion.
else.
Yeah. So there was something about the trailers for Birds of Prey that just like this looks like it's trying way too hard and
Yes,
missing the
I
mark and
agree.
everything.
I totally agree. That's how I felt watching them too.
Yeah, and so I had the opportunity to go with Aaron, and then just something came up like, hey, sorry, I can't go.
That's his new girlfriend, Erin.
Yeah.
You stayed at her house last night, right?
Yeah, you did.
I did say it.
Hi, Aaron. Hi.
Shout
Aaron.
out to Erin.
So,
Drank some whiskey.
did yeah.
All those Tinder girls watching now are so mad jealous. They're
Oh
all
my
mad
God.
dates.
Who the
Right now.
fuck is Aaron?
Who's this
Okay,
Erin
go on
bitch?
with your Birds of Prey.
Facebook?
Birds. Well, I mean, I don't have much to say. I didn't see it,
Yeah,
so
that's
it's.
fair.
Did you see it?
No, I didn't have.
Well,
I
what
didn't
the
see it.
fuck
No,
are we
no, it's all
talking
good. I
about?
was just interested to see if you guys saw it because I know you guys are like the movie guys. So,
Well,
but you saw it.
I watched it yesterday.
And
It definitely should not have been called Birds of Prey.
Mhm.
It should have just been called Harley Quinn.
Mhm.
Because
wasn't it Harley Quinn: The Emancipation
it was-
of Harley?
it
That
or
was like
something?
the.
It was
Birds of
Birds of Prey and
Emancipation.
the Fantabulous Emancipation of Harley Quinn.
What the fuck?
That's the entire title.
Who
What
greenlit
kind-
that
Who
shit?
agreed to
The
that?
only reason they added that end part is because they realized that people when I think Warner Brothers realized they fucked up once they put out Birds of Prey, that they should have just called it Harley Quinn, so they added that like subtext. And movie theaters started like renaming the film Harley Quinn in theaters so that people would go and see it because they weren't having great it didn't have great turnout. The movie itself is
Let's see what it's at. I'm gonna see.
it is better than Suicide Squad,
Which isn't saying much.
That's
but,
not really
which isn't
saying
saying
much.
a lot. It's Ewan McGregor as the villain is fantastic. He's
Love that
incredible
guy.
in it. I love Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn. I think she's amazing. She's adorable, and
Can we
she's
just agree that's probably the only reason why the movie got made?
I would agree.
she's fantastic in the movie.
As of right now, it has grossed 84 million in the U.S. and Canada.
Oh
That's
no,
not good at all.
That's-
114 million in other territories. So a
What was its
worldwide
budget?
total of under 200 million.
Its
and the
was
budget-
probably close
According
to
to
that.
Variety, it is estimated that the film will need to gross between 250 to 300 million
Yeah,
worldwide
that's
in
a-
order to break even.
budget and spending on advertising. Yeah, they
That's That's not good.
No, it's not good
But
at
it's
all.
still not terrible. I guess
No.
it's probably like low middle.
Well, the problem is
It
is
lost money.
Warner Brothers keeps making mistakes
Mhm.
with all of their DC properties. They keep mistake after mistake after mistake. And Wonder Woman looks really
I was gonna
good.
say maybe except for the Wonder Woman series. Would you say? I mean, really, there's only one movie out of hers, and it did really well. Did you enjoy it? Did you like?
I
it?
was really fucking bored.
Okay.
The movie's fine, but I was
It's
bored
long
the whole.
as fuck.
It's so long, and I was like, "Okay, what's
3 hours?
It is
long
pretty
or some
long,
shit?
yeah.
And the whole point of that isn't there like there's like a whole big bad world-ending bad guy in that one too, isn't
Yeah.
it?
There's,
Like
yeah.
that's what
It's
every
like a
single
Greek
movie.
god guy.
Yep.
Or something.
Yeah,
anyways.
and-
Ares, I think it was.
yeah. Right. Ares.
The trailers for Wonder Woman
Looks-
1984 though,
They're giving me like Ragnarok vibes. A
yes,
little bit.
which is rad because if that's the direction they went, all right, cool. As long as they did it well, because Ragnarok was
I'm gonna
hilarious.
say Ragnarok might be my favorite.
Marvel movie.
One of my favorite Marvel. Well, I would say maybe my favorite one. Yeah.
I would
Yeah.
put it in my top 3.
Yeah.
I still think
I-
Winter Soldier
I
is the best Marvel movie.
That's a great movie.
I think
That
it's the
is
best
a
one.
great movie.
and the
Winter
That
Sol-
is a
Civil
great
War, I
movie.
think, is better than Winter Soldier.
Really?
Yes.
Well, I would. Well, okay.
No. Which one is the one?
Bucky comes back.
Is that the one? Is the Winter Soldier the one where
It's Bucky.
they spoilers reveal that Bucky killed Iron Man's parents?
No, that's Civil War.
Yeah, okay, then
That's
that is
why they're going after him.
Yeah.
that is my favorite one then. Civil War is by far my favorite.
I think that's completely. It's funny because Civil War is essentially an Avengers movie.
Yeah, it
It
is.
is.
Everybody's
It
fucking
is.
in it.
Yeah. But the fight between Iron Man and
And
Captain America is
Yes.
pretty amazing.
It was.
In Civil War.
Well,
Yeah.
the reason I give it to Winter Soldier is because that was the first one that the Russo brothers directed,
Okay, yeah.
and that was, to me, anyways, going back to the series, that was the shift of them figuring out the exact tone that worked for Marvel.
Yes.
Like having this perfect balance of like, this is all like, we can be really serious but inject all this kind of humor and fantastic
Yeah.
elements to it, and they just, in my opinion, just
And that can
fucking
backfire.
nailed it.
Totally.
Right, and then every apart from like Ragnarok, everything has kind of followed that tone, and I think that's why I put it up there as like this is actually that's when they figured it out, is bringing the Russo
Yep.
brothers in here.
I'll agree.
But
I
Civil
didn't
War is
watch
great,
that
too.
movie for a long. I skipped Winter Soldier for a while because
Mm.
like I was never really a Captain America fan in
Mm.
general. Like I was a big comic book guy when I was a kid growing up, like
Mhm.
Big X-Men, that was like my comic.
Mhm.
And I was never really a Captain America guy. So I skipped over that movie, but a friend of mine told me to watch it and I went back and I did.
Yeah,
And I was completely blown away.
Right.
Completely blown away. And if anything, that movie made me like Captain America as a character more,
Mm-hmm.
even in real life now. If I see it or whatever, I'm not like fucking stupid Captain.
yeah.
Because like you've associated it, or I associated it with like extreme patriotism, you know?
Right.
And like not the fact that it was like, you know, the you have to look outside of that sort of, and that's not actually what he really represented.
no, absolutely
Not nowadays anyways, maybe in the wartime, but
Yeah.
anyways, that movie really made me like really like him as a character.
And Chris Evans did. I mean,
he did a great
perfect
job
choice
for sure.
I mean,
Way better than the Human Torch.
oh, we don't have to talk about those things. Holy shit.
Oh my god. So-
Funny.
Going back to Justice League.
Justice League.
What-
Oh, shit. No, let's just do Justice League
You've seen the petitions that people have been putting out?
for the Zack Snyder cut.
Yes.
I have
The
seen
Zack Snyder cut. Have you seen that?
No,
Do you know what we're talking about?
no,
Where I'm going to explain it.
no. It's all good. Yeah, explain.
So, Justice League movies being made. There's lots of like shit going down on the set, and it just sounds like a nightmare. And then it all culminates. Like the movies, like they were done shooting, and they were in post production, and it all culminates. And I, for how much I don't like Zack Snyder and any of his movies, visually he's an amazing director. Can't tell a story worth shit.
Mm-hmm.
For how much I don't like him as an artist, I would never wish this on anyone. And the reason he stepped off the project was because his
daughter passed away,
I
Or
believe she had
suicide.
killed herself. Yeah, I believe she
Cheapers.
his daughter had passed away from suicide, and he worked for a while after that happened, and then eventually it all just kind of caught up to him, and then he was like, got to step away. So Warner Brothers brought in Joss Whedon to basically take over the project. Now, Joss Whedon did the first and second Avengers movies, which are great. Those movies are great. And Joss Whedon, an amazing filmmaker, amazing storyteller, all around great guy. What happened is Joss Whedon came in and was like, I have to fix everything. And so they'd already spent over $100 million making this movie, and then they spent another $90 million on fucking reshoots. And like that's a lot for reshoots. That is that's basically
another movie.
Yeah. So that's where the whole controversy with Henry Cavill's mustache came from. Do you remember that?
No.
So Henry Cavill was already working on the
Mission Impossible.
Yeah. And for that movie, he had to have a mustache. And because he was contractually obligated to have this mustache, when they were calling him back to do reshoots on Justice League, they're like, you have to shave. And he's like, no, I fucking don't.
Yeah.
Like,
I can't.
Superman
the Paramount, or I think it's Paramount.
So down.
Yeah, right.
They were like, nope.
Can he just not have a sick handlebar? Superman.
Oh my god,
That
I'd have been on board.
So then they had to like CGI out his fucking mustache.
That doesn't seem hard to me though.
Apparently it was really bad.
Yeah.
Really?
I mean, I watched the movie and I couldn't really tell, but there was
I never noticed.
I never saw the
but
movie.
I'm not looking for it.
Exactly.
Guess.
I never saw the movie in theaters. I watched it at home, and
So
people
there are
said
times where you can see it.
well, apparently it was like, you know that opening scene where like the kid's filming him on his hand.
Yeah.
Apparently that was one of the scenes that was like people were like, why does his mouth look so fucking weird? Because they had CGI'd it out, and that was like the most prominent, I think.
Yeah, I remember that scene.
And it sets the tone for the rest of the movie. So
keep talking.
And is that the whole movie?
It's on Netflix.
Right. Thank you.
Yeah.
So
that's what I was thrown off by, because I hadn't known about it. And like they literally start the movie with in my opinion, a really poorly rendered face of him.
See, and I don't remember it being that poorly rendered.
But you didn't see it in theaters, though.
I didn't see it in theaters.
I did, yeah.
I saw it on home video, so maybe they had gone back and fixed it more. Which they probably
I haven't watched it since, so this might look bad.
So I've watched the movie twice. I watched the theatrical cut, and I watched the ultimate cut, which has
I didn't even know there was an ultimate.
There's an ultimate cut that has like 40. It's like 3.5 hours long, and all it does is add in Jenna Malone's character.
Oh right.
Because they completely cut her out of the movie. Yeah, let's
take a gander at that.
Oh god, it looks horrible. Look at his mouth. It does look terrible. It does look bad. He's like,
you seem confused.
No, I'm really paying attention.
Okay,
to it.
all right.
Oh my god.
And they start the movie like that.
No. You should have seen before. It was like
it's almost
bad.
It's like
it was really bad.
It's really bad.
I never noticed that.
Yeah, and now that I
at one point it's completely like blurred out on the side,
yeah.
And like it morphs into this like weird. You're right. Yeah. It's weird. It's like, what are you looking? What am I looking at if I'm not looking at his mouth?
Yeah, it's bad.
Like,
so
how did you not notice that?
There's been a petition for a long time that people there was a legend that a Zack Snyder cut of the film before he exited exists.
Okay.
And it would be a totally different movie
Of
because
course.
Like I said, they did like $90 million worth of reshoots. So it would be an entirely different movie.
Do you think it would have been a better movie?
I can't say that because I don't like Zack Snyder's work.
Okay.
However, I still want to see that fucking movie because I want to see how drastically different
That'd be great. Yeah.
Joss Whedon's version is
Right.
from Zack Snyder's
Right.
version. So apparently it exists, and
there's confirmation that it does exist.
Well, apparently that's like I want to double check that because it sounds like it exists. Zack Snyder's Justice League. This is from a day.
Cool idea. Like give two directors the same idea, and then see how different the movies could be. You know what I mean? It's kind of a cool
So
idea.
I think that it would never happen. But
Justice League. Zack Snyder has dubbed his unseen cut of Justice League with the title Zack Snyder's Justice League, and there are good reasons for him to do so. So I heard at one point that they were potentially putting that on HBO Max.
Oh, okay.
Like their new streaming service or whatever, like that potentially it was going there. So I'm trying to see here. Yeah, continue stream. Like, let's see. And marketing movies public.
Are they gonna come out with a Flash movie? Like
Flashpoint. Yeah,
is that what they're gonna do?
They've
Like,
talked about that forever. Like,
is that really like? And like, did you like the Captain or what is it? Aquaman. Movies?
I think Aquaman had
So bad.
I haven't
I
seen
like
either of
aspects
them.
of Aquaman.
I haven't seen either of
Aquaman.
them. Is there
Aquaman?
two?
No,
No, there's
only
one.
He
right.
shows up
Sorry.
in Justice League, right?
Right. I haven't seen his standalone movie though.
It's very. It's almost like it's very visually assaulting. There's a lot going on. It's so much CGI.
So like, do acid before? Or
Yeah. Oh,
mushrooms?
I mean, whatever you want to do. I mean, might make it a bit more enjoyable for you. But I remember seeing it in theaters and be like, "Holy shit!" There's a lot going on screen right now.
Yeah.
It's almost like watching
so
a video
many
game.
seahorses. It's crazy.
So many, like almost too many.
It's weird. I saw this like a scene where they're like fighting underwater, and then like I can't place the scene, and then he like Jason Momoa and this girl come together, and then she like puts this bubble of like water around them or air around them, and they're like talking within this.
So
It seemed very like fake and weird.
Oh yeah.
It just looked so like, you know, like we've gotten to an age now, I think, where we're like pretty judgmental about special effects because like things look so seamless.
Yeah.
And then when you see something that doesn't nowadays, you instantly call it out and it's immediately so fake to you.
Oh,
You
yeah,
know what
absolutely.
I mean? Like,
Well, I mean, we're so attentive. We notice it so easily.
for sure.
I love like watching these behind the scenes videos of somebody. David Fincher is a great example. David Fincher actually uses a fuck ton of CGI, but he does it in these ways that you don't even notice it, and it's usually
That's kind of
stuff in the
good though. That
background, yeah.
those are the kind of ways that you want it to be, or at least me
Yeah.
as a watcher would like it to be used. you
Yeah,
know,
he's
like-
always using it for like settings and like
Right.
but it's all it's just things that you would never consider to be CGI. One thing that they are very good at now is like obviously humans are still very hard to do because we can the
Right.
whole uncanny valley, we can tell when something's not human, but
right.
with like vehicles, a good example is something like the Mission Impossible movies now. I think it was in the last one where he's on a motorcycle and he's going through like the streets of Paris or something, and there's all these cars flying by. I'm like, holy shit, that looks wild. But it's like, I mean, cars are static objects. Like, you know,
For sure, yeah.
we've gotten really good at making cars look really good on screen.
Okay.
So a lot of these death-defying stunts, like when he's driving around, you don't notice like, no, that car that almost hit him wasn't even there.
Right.
Which also, one other thing I was gonna say, the Mission Impossible movies for me now, they kind of overshadow the James Bond movies. Like, I just think they're doing them so
100%.
much better that so when I know James Bond movies historically have been like they're like an event. Mission Impossible is just so much better. Like,
So
more
But
entertaining.
Tom
That's more of an
Cruise,
event
that's
to
the
me.
element,
Yeah.
though.
100%.
Either you're a Tom Cruise guy or you're not.
It's true, and I'm a
He's
Tom
kind
Cruise
of
guy.
he's the make or break of those movies. If you take those movies and insert another actor,
Mhm.
they would still be good.
Yeah.
Given the fact that, like, you know, the movie itself is made well, according to you guys. I mean, I don't know. Does he make or break that role?
I would say so now because I think there was a
He is Ethan Hunt and has been for
and you can he's been Ethan Hunt since like 1996.
No, for
1995.
sure. Yes, yeah, I
There
remember
we go.
all 9 million of the movies
Yeah.
that they've made.
But like, it's funny. This is going on a different tangent now. I feel so bad for like Jeremy Renner because Jeremy Renner showed up in the fourth one, Ghost Protocol, and it was clear that they were kind of trying to pass the torch to him. That never happened. I don't think Jeremy Renner has shown up since that one.
Yeah, he has.
Did he show up in the one after?
Yeah, he's not. They weren't trying to
And
pass
then
it.
he
There,
jumped-
there's
were.
no.
The
There was no
Bourne
passing
movies.
of the
What's
torch.
the
Okay.
Bourne movies?
Yeah, that's the thing.
I think that's what you were
for
thinking
Bourne.
of.
Yeah,
For
Yeah,
for
they were
Bourne,
definitely
and
trying to
then
pass the
didn't
torch.
work,
That
yeah.
didn't work. But no, for the Mission Impossible movies, there's absolutely no passing of the torch.
Okay, I thought that was the original plan. There.
What is
No.
with Jeremy Renner? Like, just guy. Like,
eyes
you
out to here.
just like he is like, yeah,
A
like
fish.
I don't get it. I don't get him.
Who do
As
you
an
hate
actor.
more, Daniel Craig or
Daniel
Jeremy
Craig.
Renner?
But Daniel Craig has more talent, bar none.
I mean, I would agree with you, but then I saw what was
Like,
that?
What is he in Avengers? What's his stupid name?
Hawkeye.
Hawkeye. You have a bow and arrow. You're Legolas of the Avengers. You're Legolas.
I never understood him.
She has powers. You have a bow and arrow.
I never understood him and Black Widow even being involved. Do you know what I mean? It's like the same thing with Harley Quinn just being part of the Suicide Squad. You're just a crazy chick with a bat. Like just
And then when
maybe
he goes,
sit this one out.
Mr. J.
Maybe sit this
or
one
maybe
out.
if she just stayed as his girlfriend,
Yeah.
not as like his equal,
Right? Like
right?
I don't know.
Well, in the fact of like the badassery of like what the Joker is, I guess Harley Quinn's equally as fucked up. It just depends, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, Jeremy Renner, like I'm sorry for you.
what was that?
I'm just sorry for him, man. That's
What are
all.
you trying to remember?
What was that? It's not fucking Cold Mountain. Wind.
Oh, Wind River.
Is it Wind River? Is that the name of it?
Sounds like a-
you're thinking of the
Like the girl who gets like gets like killed and like
and he's like the ranger or the,
He's like a tracker
yes.
and he's
yeah.
What was that movie called?
I think it's
Wind River is not Wind River.
No, that's
I can
Mark's
almost
Work Warehouse wear. Wind River.
I own
That's
a
like
couple
their
Wind
house
River
brand.
pants. Wind
Are
River.
you looking it up?
khakis.
Are you looking it up?
Yeah.
Okay. No, I know exactly what
I have
movie
a
you're talking
Wind River
about.
hoodie.
With it has
Elizabeth Olsen and Jay Barenthal. Is it or not Jay?
No,
Jay
Jay
Barenthal.
No, he's not in it.
Wind River, you're right.
Is it Wind
you
River?
guys are right.
Wow.
I fucking
Wind
called
So
it.
it's
River.
not Mark's Work
No.
Warehouse khakis.
Well, it is.
I called
Director
it.
Taylor Sheridan.
Yes, Taylor Sheridan. Okay, Taylor Sheridan. What else did he?
High Water. Yeah, Hell or High Water.
Yes, he wrote Hell or High Water.
He didn't direct it.
He
No,
did
he
Hell and
didn't-
High Water,
he didn't-
Yellowstone, Sicario.
Sicario.
He did Sons of Anarchy.
He wrote Sicario. Right.
Sicario is unbelievable.
Sicario
So good.
is
So good.
Yeah, that was Denis Villeneuve.
Josh
Thank you.
Brolin, like holy fuck, man.
Apparently,
Benicio del Toro.
Josh Brolin is shooting a Amazon series in Calgary, starting in June.
He's so cool.
He's
like
not here
as
right now.
Theranos too. Like,
He's what?
isn't he Theranos?
Thanos.
He's
Thanos.
Theranos.
Sorry.
He's
We have a guy at work called Theranos. We call him Theranos. That's why.
Theranos.
Yeah,
Oh my
his
god.
last name is Theranos, so we call him Theranos. But yeah, him as Thanos. Oh man.
Oh,
Yeah,
That
he's great as
voice?
Thanos.
Jesus.
Great choice.
So I don't know. The Snyder Cut exists.
It
Sorry,
does.
Not to go back
No,
to
no,
that.
no, no.
No,
Let's
it's
go.
fine.
The
We
Snyder-
needed
We were
resolution
just talking
here.
while you were looking it
The
up.
Snyder Cut exists. I don't know. I can't find confirmation that it's
Well,
going to be.
we need to find this cut.
Well, it's not out.
Can
yet.
you black market it?
Probably
Dark web it? I mean,
So-
I really,
Dark web.
I do want to see it because I want to see how different it was because Joss Whedon added 80 pages or he included 80 pages to the script.
Mm.
That is a significant change to any script.
oh my god, 90 million in reshoots?
Yeah, that's
That's literally like half of a movie or more.
more.
That's more than.
Well, they
can-
spent 100 million making it in the first place.
Are there any superhero movies that you would want to see made that haven't been made?
Ooh.
Good question.
Well, so Kevin Smith was greenlit to do a Howard the Duck series
Amazing.
at Hulu, and then they just up and canceled it out of nowhere. That was probably one series that I was actually looking forward to, and I would have been very interested in seeing. But I don't know why they canceled. Marvel canceled a whole bunch of stuff, just up out of nowhere.
Yeah.
DC keeps or Warner Brothers keeps canceling shit too. Like they did that Swamp Thing show. It
I'm
ran
stoked.
for one fucking episode, and then they canceled it. They didn't cancel it because it got great numbers. People really liked
I
that
was gonna
one
say,
episode.
yeah.
They canceled it because it was too expensive to make. And it was like, well, why bother them? Like, why didn't you figure that shit
Yeah.
out before you went into production? Like, how? I don't understand. Like, I feel like there's something more to that
Yeah.
that they're not
Totally.
I had
publicly
heard it
saying
was quite
because
good.
that doesn't make sense that you would go into production, produce something, and only make. I think they made a total of 3 episodes, and only aired one, and it then canceled it. They made, and it's just like, well, what the fuck's?
Somebody had to have been fired over that.
Something obviously happened. I mean, we're never really gonna.
And that
know.
doesn't even make sense. How do you make, because you when you're making a TV show, it's not like you're making it and then like 2 weeks later you're airing it. You're making it months in advance. So like I don't understand. Like, did they make an entire season of it and then just not air it? Like, what do they have an entire? I don't know.
Yeah.
We need answers.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So
Warner Brothers, get
DC,
back to us, please.
and this just goes back to the whole thing of like DC just keeps making mistakes,
Mhm.
or Warner Brothers keeps making mistakes on DC's behalf, and Zack Snyder should never have been running the DCEU from the get go.
I agree.
That's the lesson of today, I think.
I think so too.
But
We already got it, but I'm interested. They announced Blade.
Oh yeah, sweet.
A new one with Mahershala.
Mahershala Ali,
Yes,
is that his name?
I
It's Ali, is it not?
Mahershala Ali. I think I don't know if I'm pronouncing his first name.
No,
right.
it's Mahershala.
Okay.
Any
So I did get
relation?
it right. Okay.
No, but it's
that's what-
It's his last name's Ali, is
Yes,
it not?
yes,
Okay, good.
okay, yeah.
I'm like, fuck.
I was just hesitant on my pronunciation. of
No,
his
no,
first- okay.
you're right. He won the
Mahershala
Oscar
Ali. Yes, he did for
last year.
Yeah, for
for Green Book.
Right. Okay.
Green Book. Yeah,
Mahershala.
he's playing Blade. Apparently,
That's sick.
And I'm
That's
excited.
actually a good casting choice.
and I love
Wesley Snipes.
the
Did
Blade
you-
2 is like one of my favorite movies.
Fair enough. So one thing I want to talk about before we jump off here. I don't know if you've seen either of them, but I want to talk about, because I watched 1917 yesterday.
Oh, nice. Right.
Right.
We were texting.
And I've
heard nothing but really good things about that movie from guys at work who have seen it. They said that it was really good.
Yeah.
But, like, who knows?
and I had seen Parasite a while ago, based on your like recommendation of like, dude,
Right.
just fucking watch it.
Right.
was
so-
this pre him winning and pre all
Oh yeah,
that?
I
This
saw
was-
Parasite in theaters like
Oh, wow,
in
nice.
like September or something
Sweet.
Yeah,
last year. Yeah.
and I watched it at home shortly after that. It was before I saw it before the Oscars. So I was gung ho on like Parasite's got
And
to
you
win.
guys liked the movie? Like,
Oh, Parasite's
amazing.
incredible.
Okay, cool.
I was gung ho the whole. I wanted Parasite
Pretty
to win.
amazing that he won.
Well, I wanted
Did it
Parasite
win-
to win everything.
Did it win Best Picture, Best Director? Was it a double whammy
Yep.
like that?
They won Best Foreign Film, Best Director, Best Picture,
That
and then
never
they won.
happens.
Was it Best Adapted or Best Original Screenplay?
I don't know. I think it was Best Original. I only kind of caught the tail end of the Oscars.
That's a lot. Those
But
are
they
all,
won 4
Those
Oscars.
are all
Yeah.
big
It-
awards for an Asian
Parasite,
movie.
yes, Parasite swept the Oscars,
Mhm.
100%.
That's good though.
Fully deserving. It's amazing. My
There's a big
prediction.
butt coming here.
No. My
Okay.
prediction going into the Oscars was, Pong Chun-ha was going to win. I thought Parasite was going to win Best Picture. No,
Not Best Director.
no. I thought Best Director was going to go to Pong Chun-ha, but 1917 was going to win Best Picture. That's what I thought the
Okay.
split was going to be on.
Yeah.
So like, Parasite would win Best Director, but they won all 4. So now at the time, I had not seen 1917. And now that I have, I would have, if I had seen 1917 before the Oscars, I would have changed my prediction. I think I would have
Sam
predicted.
Mendes Best Director.
I would have predicted Pong Chun-ha for director and Parasite for Best Picture.
Oh, okay. So you agreed.
Not saying that I don't like 1917. I'm not saying that
Okay.
at all. That movie was technically
Brilliant.
one of the most impressive movies I've ever seen in my life, and I spent the whole movie in my head just going, fuck, this would have been so hard to shoot. Holy fuck.
Yeah.
Holy fuck, that would have been really hard to shoot. Oh my god. And so that kind of pulled me out of it because of the technical achievement. I
Yeah.
knew that it was. I spent the whole time not really watching the movie. I spent the whole time figuring out how they did
Yeah,
things.
you and I
where
had a
the
very
cuts were.
similar
Yeah.
experience then, I think, because obviously I'm not as technically minded as you are. You obviously have a greater understanding of how movies are made and cinematography. But going into the movie and knowing that it was meant to look like one shot, you still haven't seen it, correct?
I haven't. No.
Definitely see it. But the entire time,
So that's the thing is that it looks like
meant
it's
to look like
one
one
shot.
shot.
The movie starts and then
And
it's
it just
one
continues.
shot. It literally follows the same guys the whole movie.
Yeah.
until the very end.
Yeah.
Cool concept.
And there's
Very
one
cool.
there's one cut in the whole movie.
Yes.
There's one
Yeah.
cut.
That's like obviously okay.
Sure.
Now we need to switch, but like
Yeah,
the whole time I'm just thinking like, fuck, like I'm looking for where are the cuts? And there's a lot more than what there's a few that are very obvious, but there's a couple that like I watch videos on after. I'm like, wow, that is insanely impressive. I remember being shocked by this one shot. This isn't
It's all
ruining
good,
anything
yeah.
for you. Where they kind of go over this crater and then the camera follows them over the water.
I was
They're
just
walking
I
up
was
the
just about to talk about that
I was
one.
like, holy
That was-
shit, how
that
did
was-
they film this?
That was the first time in the movie, because that's early on in the movie. It's very early on in the movie where that was the first shot in the movie where I actually said out loud to my wife, like, how the fuck did they film that? And she even said back to me, she was like, what are they? She was like, she's like, how are they filming that? Do they have a dolly track like going down into the, and I said, there's no fucking way. I'm
What
like,
about
they're on a crane. Like they're on a crane, but like, did you watch it? Did they show how they did that?
Yeah, it was actually on a on like a pulley system. It was actually like
that makes
dragged
sense.
Across,
Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
And then
'Cause
they just have somebody pick
I'm
it.
glad I don't think about this stuff.
Oh,
Right.
it
No,
it-
but
took me
honestly,
out of
I'm
it
really
ruins
glad
movies.
I don't
It
think
ruins
about this
movies.
stuff.
and
I would be like, that's so
So-
cool.
so-
I'd be stoned as fuck. That's so cool.
but that's
Next.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
for me, to a movie's credit, if a movie can divorce me completely from trying to find
Yeah.
any of the technical aspects
Then
of
it's
what
done-
they're doing,
It's an amazing.
then it's
job.
like holy. And Parasite, I saw some of the behind the scenes on Parasite, and Parasite, there are actually like that whole like flooding scene when they're running through the streets and their house is flooding and stuff. They did that all on a fucking green screen, and you would never know.
No,
You would never fucking know, and that blew my fucking mind because I thought they legitimately did that on a fucking city street and like flooded
You
the
could have
city.
told me Parasite was literally like no special effects, all practical, and I would have been like, "Yep." I
The
believe it.
house they spend the
That's
entire
good
time.
though.
Yeah.
Remember
It's
we were
great.
saying that's
David
when
Fincher,
you.
yeah.
I think that's when you're using CGI to its best and
Yes.
fullest form.
When you cannot find the seams,
Yes.
that's when it, dude. That literally the house that they're in for the
It was like
entire
half the
movie.
size.
It's the bottom floor,
And
and
then
the
the top
top
is
floor
just
is
fake.
green screen.
Yeah.
And that fucking absolutely destroyed my mind because I thought they were at a real house
Yep.
the whole time. No, everything was done on sets.
Yeah.
I cannot believe that.
Dude,
It's kind of cool. Like going back, they used to film movies kind of similar, where like the bottom part, let's say, of the mountain was real, but then the top part would be fake. But they would have people who would come in and paint it.
Yeah.
So it would be like a painted frame,
And they
would
still do that shit.
which is kind of like old school CGI to
Mhm.
trick your mind into thinking it's one seamless image.
So-
You know,
Funny that you should bring that up because you've watched The Mandalorian.
yeah.
Yep.
You've watched The Mandalorian.
yep.
We've all watched The Mandalorian. Do you know how they filmed that? Have you watched any of the behind the scenes stuff?
No,
I-
Okay.
Zero.
So how they did that, when you watch The Mandalorian, it looks like they're outside, they're at location.
Yeah.
None of that show was filmed outside. All of that show was filmed in a fucking studio. I'm not kidding. The entire thing. And how they did it is they built these giant fucking LED screens that like surround the stage, and everything is projected. Those are all just videos projected behind them.
What the fuck?
I'm not kidding you. So when they're in the desert and there's like mountains and shit behind them, that's a video playing on a screen behind the actor wearing the Mandalorian suit.
So, I can't remember the actor's name right now.
Oscar De La Hoya.
Yeah, no, that's right. Yeah. No, that's 100% right.
He's taking a break from
Yeah,
boxing.
Yeah. So he could actually see like what was on screen behind it. Like,
Yes.
Okay, that's very cool.
Yes. So the cameras, everything was like everything.
It's tough to get outside to look like outside when you're not outside.
It's very tough, and
There's a lot of outside.
and
a
they
lot of
did
outside.
they did it.
Like even the light, you can usually tell you're like that's not real light.
Yeah.
But like I know what you mean. I never would have thought that watching the show. I thought
I
they
didn't
were
even consider
out
that.
in Egypt in the desert.
I'm gonna show
filming
you. I'm
things.
gonna show you.
We're
some,
on Mars
I'm gonna
no.
show you some pictures.
or in the Mojave.
Where is
looks-
a photo of it? This is
It's funny because when I watched The Mandalorian, all I could think about was how great it looked.
yeah.
Or how,
You know,
like how much sand is in their pants.
Yeah. How much sand is on your
Well, and they're
pants?
not in the they weren't even in the desert at all.
I gotta say, the fact that Disney was able to hold Baby Yoda so close to their chest for so long.
But I
Kudos
heard-
to them.
I don't know if this is true, but I heard that they were surprised at how.
Holy hell!
Isn't that insane? Like, I'm not kidding, dude. That's what they did.
Pretty crazy.
That's how they filmed it. So they would cover the floor in like dirt, build like a couple little things to like disguise the transition behind for the video screens in behind them, and then project like mountains. So like when he's going and chasing after the whatever the fuck they're called, what are those little fucking things called that like stole his ship essentially?
Oh, I know what you're talking. I know what you're talking.
The Jawas.
Yeah. There you
Yeah, when he's chasing after the Jawas, all of that was done on like, look at that dude.
Crazy.
That's insane. All of that was done on a projecting screen.
And then to film that, there's like some kind of like probably weird distortion or something that could happen.
Well, and I
From, like,
think
do you know what I mean?
yeah, absolutely. And I think everything, like if you walked onto that stage, obviously you'd be able to tell like,
sure.
oh yeah, okay, I can see the seam of where the
Right,
the
yeah,
wall
the roof,
starts and the
yeah.
roof starts and everything. But like the cameras are designed to track with that so that like as they move, like shit kind of moves on the
Oh, I
moves behind them, like everything's kind of tracked to work together so that
see.
it's
Very
not like
cool.
yeah, like everything is very so it looks seamless, right?
Right.
And it's they're bright and those LEDs are bright. They use that for lighting.
Mhm.
So they're bright enough that it looks like when they have the whole thing lit up, when you're standing in it, it looks like you're outside.
Huh. Never would have thunk.
Might have to watch The Mandalorian.
How did
again.
we get there? Like what were we talking?
But I don't.
Oh, we were talking about Parasite, and
Parasite,
like how
yeah.
so that's kind of the direction that a lot of like shoots are going to go because it's cheaper to do it this way.
Then go to location.
Exactly. So you're like, I need a desert location, and they're like, cool, Studio 12.
Yeah.
Instead of like, all right, Abu Dhabi, here we
Let's
come.
all fly. Yeah,
Exactly. Then you're
Yeah.
not
Risk
paying.
COVID. Yeah.
It's not even about risking COVID. It's literally just like they
But it
don't
is
have
right
to
now.
pay to like. Well, right now,
Yeah.
while everything is shut down, like Netflix has literally shut down every production they're working on. Warner Brothers has shut down every production they're working on. Every studio. The film industry is getting hit so fucking hard right now. I have so many friends that are like, well, it was nice it was nice having a job for a while,
Yeah.
and now they're on hiatus and they don't know how long they're on hiatus for.
Man. so sketchy.
Fucking Tom Cruise has coronavirus.
You mean Tom Hanks?
He.
Sorry.
Yeah, I was like, Tom Cruise is a Scientologist and he's an alien.
He's fine.
and he
He's-
doesn't get sick.
No,
Fine, he
Tom
won't get
Cruise is
sick.
fine. Tom Hanks, sorry, yes. Tom Hanks and
And
Rita
his
Wilson.
wife. Yeah.
Not our Tom. You will not take our Tom Hanks
No.
and Rita Wilson.
But it
Actually,
might, though.
you can have
That's
Rita.
what's scary.
we just keep Tom.
Don't.
Don't
No,
even
Rita's,
put that damage on
I'm
him.
joking.
Rita's
I'm joking.
our mom.
Rita's everyone's mom.
It's funny,
We
like
love her.
the whole Reddit crowd was like, "Today I learned that Tom Hanks married a Wilson." Really? You guys
like,
Evil, wake up.
that's kind of like
Castaway?
that's low hanging
It's
fruit.
really low. Yeah, I know.
like
That's dad
that was
joke.
too
That's
easy.
dad
Talk
joke
to Reddit.
level.
Reddit,
Reddit, you
get
suck.
your shit together. Whatever.
Yeah.
I feel like that's we really want to wrap it on my shitty dad on Reddit's shitty dad
Yeah,
joke.
we're wrapping up on your shitty dad
Yeah,
joke.
We
whatever.
started with COVID and we ended with COVID.
We ended with it all
There we
came
go.
it all
Exactly.
came full circle. No, but thank you for watching if you did. We're back,
If you
bitches.
did.
We're back, bitches. We're gonna get back into this huge, and I got a ton of footage I gotta cut because these guys don't know how.
He's lazy.
I'm lazy. I'm the lazy one. So yeah, we'll figure out a name for this fucking thing. It doesn't really matter. You know
Who we are.
you know who we are. What we're doing. We just
My idea was Three's Company.
come on.
He's definitely John Ritter for sure. R.I.P.
I am.
Yeah. We're the two bimbos.
All right.
He's smart.
All right.
He's
I got
smart.
I
I'm
got the
bimbo.
bimbos
Yeah.
on my arms. There you go.
I'm down for whatever.
I don't know. Just come up with some names. We'll think about it. It's not a big deal.
No,
but
fair enough. But yeah, thanks for watching, and we'll check you out next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.